Yeah, so there's been a few interesting occurrences that have happened.
Is one of them Spider-Man cleaning up at the box office?
That's certainly one of them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, because this is our first episode since it came out, right?
Yep.
Yeah, guys. If you didn't get our see our brand new day review, go check that out. But ever since then, because when we did the review, that was a week ago, right? It was on Wednesday, about a week ago, and yeah, when we did that, this was like before preview night even.
Yep.
This was an exclusive VIP showing
on a Wednesday,
and we all liked it, and like the nerds in our theater liked it. They gave it a standing ovation. At the end, I haven't seen anybody clap in the theater in a while. So
fucking nerds.
It might have been since No Way Home, to be honest with you. So to see that is one thing, but to impress the people who would have been at our showing, that's not really that hard. So we really didn't know at the time like how ridiculous this was going to get. I think the estimates for the opening weekend box office were like 400 to 850 million, which, by the way, big gap. You know?
Yeah. I saw. I think 860 was what they were expecting.
Yeah, like as the maximum. And then the shit did like 932 million. It broke the in-game opening weekend record. It broke the preview night record. It broke the opening day record. And since then, it has gone on. I don't know if it did it today, but it had the highest Monday and the highest Tuesday ever over the last 2 days. I went to go see it again yesterday. I saw it yesterday at 11:30 a.m. The parking lot at the theater was packed.
Jeez.
It got a standing ovation at the end of that showing. So when the Tuesday morning people are clapping at the end of the movie, you got something. Yeah, man. And it's showing every 30 minutes, like around the clock, basically. Most theaters, for a big blockbuster movie, like 30% is usually the maximum of screens that they'll dedicate to it. Most theaters are at like 50 to 60 for Spidey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you see any other movie this year raking in more money than Brand New Days in total?
There can be only one, and it's Doomsday.
Yeah.
And I think that the success of this movie only helps Doomsday. I thought it was weird that they aren't playing the Doomsday trailer in front of this movie. I think that's a bad choice. But I don't know, man. I think that this only helps it, right? This gives the message that the MCU is back. And hopefully it's going to be back for a while, because the next 3 movies after Spider-Man are Doomsday, Secret Wars, and then X-Men.
Yeah.
And so we need banger after banger for the next several years, basically.
Yeah. This is obviously nothing but great news for Marvel.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can keep this up, this kind of momentum. And because like people are dying for that big box office superhero feel.
Yeah.
They just need something to get behind. And Spider-Man Brand New Day just kind of proves that, Man, I'm really curious to see what Doomsday ends up doing.
Yeah, right now, the pre-sales are higher than Endgame was at this point in time. And I think that that's a solid indicator. Yeah. I also think, so this is another cool thing that happened that was very interesting. Spider-Man did all this without IMAX.
Yes.
Endgame had an IMAX exclusivity window.
Right.
Spidey had 0 IMAX. And it's really funny because it only took 4 days for IMAX to cave. The IMAX CEO came out and was like, oh, yeah, so starting August 7th, you guys, I know you really want to see Spider-Man in IMAX. So Brand New Day, which was going to have no IMAX showings at all, now is going to have an IMAX run.
That's great.
So I think a lot of people are going to go back and see it in that format, or maybe people that were holding off. But what I definitely think this means is that Dune will have to move.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I don't think they're going to play this shit. I think I think that IMAX was under the assumption that, Marvel is, superhero fatigue. The MCU is not going to be what it was ever again. Nothing is going to hit the in-game peak. It's fine if we give both of these other movies IMAX exclusivity during these Marvel releases. And Tom Holland said, hold my drink, bitch.
Right. So that leads to another question. And this question comes up probably, I don't know, every 6 months for the past 6 years or so.
Yeah.
And that is superhero fatigue real? And for me, I think that there's a more nuanced answer than like a simple yes or no.
Yes.
I think that technically, yes, there is superhero fatigue. People are fatigued of superhero movies, but then there are exceptions to the rule. And I think that the danger comes when we look at the exception as being the rule. Like Brand New Day is an exception. Like, if every superhero movie were that, then probably there would be no superhero fatigue, But people forget we already got a superhero movie just a few months ago, like 2 months ago, 1 month ago, 1.5. We got Supergirl.
Right.
And people just weren't feeling it.
And 6 months ago, there were people saying that Supergirl could make more than Spider-Man.
Yeah, I saw that article like a few days ago, and I thought this can't be real.
I think that's a hot bonkers out of the just not even hot take, just wrong take.
Yeah.
Like at any point in our history, right? Like Supergirl could have come out the week after Superman came out, and it wouldn't have made anywhere close. And this is coming as someone who like really loves Kara as a character,
right?
But just the idea of trying to say that was going to be a thing, like Spider-Man is a box office titan. It always has been. The opening weekend record, the original record for first movie over 100 million was Spider-Man. Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. That was the first movie in the history of ever to open over $100 million. It had that record until it was eclipsed by Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Okay? Which Spider-Man 3, I think, held that record until I think either Jurassic World or Force Awakens took it. And then the record endured until Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah. And on top of that, you have to look at the fact that I think the lowest grossing Spider-Man movie still pulled in like $670 million.
And that was Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
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 Still put in that many.
Spider-Man 3 is garbage, and it made like $800 or $900 million.
Yeah. It made like well over $800 million in 2007 or whatever it was.
Yeah, and that's 2007 money.
Yeah. Which is pretty bonkers. And I almost said this like there was a huge gap. I guess there wasn't. I was gonna say, and no superhero movie broke that until The Dark Knight, but that was like a year and a half later.
Right.
It feels like there's such a long gap between those two movies, but there's not.
Right. Well, and the reason though is because Nolan's Batman set us up for this era that we're in now. A lot of people forget that it's like that the superhero era that we're in now. It is way different, So I think there's probably 3 eras of like superhero movies if we want to break it down. Like what I would call the classical era, right? Which is this is Richard Donner Superman.
Yep.
This is the older Batman films. The Keaton Batman. And the sequels to those. Gotcha.
The Schumachers and all that too.
Yeah, I would say that era goes right up until X-Men came out first, right? Or Spidey came out first?
X-Men.
So I would say right up until X-Men. I think that Batman and Robin is the end of that era.
Would you say maybe? I would say maybe Blade kind of ushered in like. This is a real genre.
Yeah. Was Blade 99?
98.
98. So, yeah. I would say Batman and Robin is the end of the classical era. And then I'd say you have I guess maybe the Renaissance era of superhero movie, and that's from Blade,
Right.
X-Men, Spidey, up until I guess what would be the last movie? The Spider-Man 3 would be the end of that.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah, or and there was some bleed over here,
Right.
because
it begins in 05.
Begins was in 05, and Begins to me is the beginning of the modern era of superhero movies. But there was some bleed over, right? You had some movies. You had your Daredevil, Catwoman, the Elektra movie,
Right.
You know,
Fantastic Fours.
fantastic. Yeah, that came in and kind of they belonged in that classical kind of era, or I'd say in that Renaissance era rather of the superhero movie. But they just came out like Madam Web, some very late arrivals for that era. Today, folks, there are still people making superhero movies that kind of belong in that. Mm-hmm. An argument could be made that Supergirl belonged in that era and not this era. And then the modern era starts with Batman Begins and goes until now. If you wanted to say there's a fourth one, like a post-Endgame era, I could see it. But that's a hellscape that I just don't want to live in. So,
All right.
But I do think, I am someone who is against the idea of superhero fatigue, because to me, superhero fatigue kind of implies that, like, how the Western, went away, that, like, the superhero movie should also kind of go in that direction. And that's just not going to happen, right? Because the superhero stars, like, you have sure things with superhero movies. You have the Avengers, that's QB1. Mm-hmm. You have Spider-Man, and I hate to say it, Bats, but that's QB2. Like, like that's A1 and A2.
Right.
Batman is B1.
Yeah.
And that's really, like, nothing against the character. That is Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. Like, and then I guess X-Men or Superman can slot in, in that fourth or fifth slot, probably interchangeably, depending on who's got the pen,
right.
But I think that, those properties are sure things. Not to say that there hasn't been a bad X-Men movie. There's been a bad Batman movie.
Right.
There's been two bad Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
And there's yet to be a bad Avengers movie. We've always talked about how that is, that is the death knell right there when we have that. I hope that it's not coming out this year. So.
Yeah, that would be a doomsday. I want to go back to something you said earlier about how people often compare superhero movies and superhero fatigue to that of the Westerns, and how they fizzled out and needed to go away, and then eventually they all faded off. And I do agree with that, but only to a point, right? Because people always end the conversation there, but they never discuss why the Westerns went away. If they were all the good, the bad, and the ugly, if they were all, like the classical, holy shit, this is amazing, Westerns.
Yeah, if they were all like True Grit.
If they're all True Grit, exactly, then those would have never went away. But what happened was the spaghetti Western, they started filming in places like Italy where they could shoot for really, really cheap. And they just started churning out movies. And they started churning them out because the really good Westerns were getting a whole lot of traction. People liked them. People were talking about them. People were going to go see them. And so then they just get to this motion where they release a bunch of whatever, because in their minds, people are going to go see this shit anyway. And even if they don't, well, we made these for pretty cheap. So, that played a really big role in it. And people only ever focus on the oversaturation of Western movies pertaining to the downfall of the Western genre. But they don't look at the fact that there was also a decrease in quality as well as an increase in quantity. And I think if you look at those two things together, you have to look at it in comparison to superhero movies. And that is, we are at a point where, especially with the way the economy is, not to bring politics into this, but we cannot go too many movies in a row, superhero movies to be exact, that are bad or even mid or even just okay. Like,
that's really the issue.
Yeah. Like, I mean, because we spoke about Supergirl earlier, and I think that people are way too harsh on Supergirl.
Yes.
I don't think that movie is terrible. I don't think it's awful. There's some people out there who are outliers who say this movie is amazing. I think that they've been in a time capsule since '06, and they woke up and they're like, holy shit. But that brings me back to something that I said previously about Supergirl, which is I think that it is a relic of a lost time. If Supergirl came out 12 years ago, it would have been received completely differently than how it is now.
The bar has definitely been set at a level that is absurd, right? I mean, this movie, it's like, I don't know that it's been long enough that I could, I don't want to spoil. So, a character that's heavily rumored to be in this movie. Also, the trailers, they have confirmed that the fucking Hulk is in it.
Yeah.
They've confirmed that the Punisher is in it. Mm-hmm. Seeing Spider-Man on screen with these characters is mostly a new thing. Spidey doesn't really have any scenes with Banner in the Avengers movies. Not really.
No.
Maybe one or two, and they're not really interacting necessarily. Right. So this is new stuff that we, it's a familiar world. It's new stuff we haven't seen before. John Bernthal's, I don't think enough can be overstated that it's John Bernthal's big screen debut as the Punisher. Mm-hmm. He's only ever been in the TV shows. And so there's all these different things that are lined right up for this movie. And then there's also the word of mouth. It's just a really great movie. And so you take all that, combine it together, and you get these good results. But so much of what we have seen in the later phases, in phase 4 and 5, especially 4, I think is just, probably the worst example of all of it is we just need to churn this out. Mm-hmm. And it's going to print money, and it's all insanely mid. And so much of it, especially Ant-Man 3, I think might be the worst example. It's we're going to tease you with this build-up that we had to Infinity War. Yeah. And then we're going to snatch the rug out from under you. Mm-hmm. And people are tired of, they're Charlie Brown. They're tired of the football being, snatched out from in front of them. And at least, with the Infinity Saga, every time you go see one of these movies, even if you just thought the movie was just okay, you got another piece of this bigger puzzle that you knew was coming. Yeah. And we don't get that anymore, really at all. And I think Kevin Feige is really missing the mark on how, important that was. They were so happy to be none of these movies are going to be required viewing anymore. Right. We don't want people to have to watch 30 movies to know what's going to happen in Avengers Doomsday, which I'm that's funny because y'all added 90 movies to the ones you might have to watch because of all the other characters. But when you look at that and you take a look at, how phase 1, 2, and 3 were structured versus how it's structured now, okay, we're not going to make these movies required viewing. And the audience went, oh, well, cool, we're not going to go see them then. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. If I go and when I went and watched Captain Marvel, right, I hated that movie. Yeah. But I wasn't angry when I walked out of that theater because I got a cool-ass tease for what was coming in Endgame.
I was angry, but continue.
I know you were angry, but I had no predisposition for the character. I was like,
you are.
I was like, man, I got to see Fury and Coulson and a bunch of 90s references. Mm-hmm. I really don't like this main character, but, whatever. And then it was like, oh, shit, man, look, Cap's got a beard. Oh, fuck, what's going on,
Right. I forgot about that post-credit scene. Yeah,
the whole thing, the scene of them coming out when the ship lands, that was the post-credit scene. Yep. At the end of Captain Marvel, and it was really the only look that we had gotten. Infinity War, the snap had happened, and we didn't get a whole lot of being able to look at that world while it was still snapped.
I would have paid my entire admission just to see that.
Yeah, and that's how most people felt.
And again, that was. Even back when Captain Marvel came out, I had to tip my hat to Kevin Feige and the gang at Marvel because that was the only way that people were going to go out and spend $1 billion on that movie.
Yeah, 100%.
And it worked.
100%. And you take that movie and you put it up against Thunderbolts. Mm-hmm. I would rather watch Thunderbolts any day of the week.
Oh, absolutely.
but
when you watch it and you're done with it,
it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, we do get a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
And but it's they're building towards something, and I guess if you're a casual, you don't know what they're building towards. Whereas if you're a casual during 2017, 2018, watching Captain Marvel, you know what they're building towards.
Right, 100%.
That reminds me of something. I spoke to the homie Kevin a couple days ago.
Yeah, he really likes the Odyssey.
Yeah, I really like the Odyssey.
That's what we talked about.
Okay, yeah, we spoke about that too. But then we spoke after he saw the Odyssey as well. We spoke because he saw Brand New Day. We spoke about it. He gave me his thoughts and his review, his score, and all that.
Oh, what did he think? Yeah,
he really enjoyed it. He and I are of similar minds of that movie. He scored it an 8, but he said he really liked it. But we ended up talking about something that I think a lot of people forget about or just overlook, and that is how Phase 1 of the MCU is truly one of the more special phases of Marvel. Not just because it kicked things off, but because if you really think about it, and I got to give the homie Kevin props for reminding me of this, but all of those movies truly felt unique and different. Like they did not feel, they did not have that same seas feeling that Marvel would adapt, I would say, literally have a Phase 2 moving forward.
Right, the formula.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
The formula had not quite been a thing yet. Because like you look at Iron Man, feels like a drastically different movie from the Hulk, which feels so different from Thor, which feels so different from Cap. And then it's like, wow, we have all these, they're not technically different genres, but they just feel so unique and so individual from one another.
Yes.
And then you blend them and bring them together. And that really, I think, was an important factor. And I know that right now, Marvel, they're in their rebuilding phase, and they're just trying to get to damn Secret Wars. And then, they can branch off from there. But I'm really hoping they can get back to something like that at some point.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you look at the 2028 lineup, X-Men, Ghost Rider, Black Panther 3.
Yeah.
We're going back to 3 movies. We're building. Mm-hmm. Those 3 films need to feel incredibly unique. And with those 3, that's going to be pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think that's a wise choice. Mm-hmm. And is it a weird choice? Yeah. But, I mean, I think people will take everything feels very different from everything feeling very same. There was a lot of that in Phase 2 and Phase 3. Mm-hmm. People were starting to get tired of it even when everything was really hot. Yep. Then when we got into Phase 4, and it's like, okay, well, we just watched 2 of the greatest superhero movies of all time.
Yep.
And now you want us to chew on Ant-Man 3.
Right.
And we're like, I don't think we will. And then you keep bringing us back. I mean, don't get me wrong. Shang-Chi, fantastic movie. Mm-hmm. But I think it got caught up. Well, that they had a lot of problems, right? Like it was pandemic and all that other stuff. Yeah. But he's basically been forgotten about, mm-hmm. and that movie was really unique. Mm-hmm. That movie and the first Doctor Strange both feel like they could have been Phase 1 movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I would argue Doctor Strange, the only issue with that being Phase 1 is that there are some similarities in that and Iron Man 1.
Yes. And a lot of people have argued that, like, if they had been flips, we would probably think about them completely differently.
That's true.
That's
a great point. Yeah. Really great point.
Because, I mean, they really were trying to get Benedict Cumberbatch as this very charismatic kind of replacement for Tony. Right. And there's a reason the 2 of them had so many scenes together in Infinity War.
Absolutely. And they needed to. Like, the Man of Magic and the Man of Science, I mean, it just kind of damn near writes itself. And plus, those 2 have a really fun chemistry in the comic books. And so, like, I'm glad we got those moments between those 2.
Yeah.
Really quickly here, I know we have some wrestling.
We're actually surprised, guys. If you clicked on this, you probably already knew this, but this is the cold open. We're actually going to talk today about something we don't typically talk about on here, which is a little bit of pro wrestling. So, yeah, this is a strange day. So, like, the things we would be talking about on the episode is now the cold open.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're just having a little bit of fun.
That's right. Comic book shit is the cold open.
So, Twitter has been ablaze. Actually, social media as a whole has been ablaze. And should I say, black social media has been ablaze as of recently. Marvel is in hot trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, it's too hot to ignore. And so, at least to some degree, it has to be, it's got to be discussed, right? Because it's a lot to take in. And for those who don't know, what I'm referring to is the fact that if you look at Marvel's treatment of their black characters, if you look at them on an individual basis, you may be able to find reasons as to why they're either sidelined or overlooked or put on the back burner or just didn't work out. Because you may think, well, there's other characters who fall into those categories as well. And you'd be right. But the problem is that if it happens once or twice, it's a coincidence. But then when it happens over and over and over again, it becomes a pattern. And patterns become modes of behavior. And so when you look at things like, I think the thing that really broke the camel's back on this were a few things, a few back-to-back punches to the eye.
Right.
Was Wonder Man being canceled after it was already greenlit for season 2.
Yeah.
It was greenlit and then it was canceled.
And that was a show that they didn't want to, like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that this sounds crazy, like they didn't want it to be successful, but they damn sure didn't spend a dime advertising it. It wasn't even on the front page of Disney Plus until people started watching it.
And you know what? Since you brought that up, the same thing can be said for Ironheart, which got very little promotion.
Yep.
Eyes of Wakanda. Somehow, how does a Wakandan show get very little promotions beyond me? But Eyes of Wakanda got very little promo too.
They didn't even want to put that show out.
I know. Well, they only released half of it.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
They were just like,
Yeah.
this is what we had.
Yeah.
On the day we decided that this was it, this is what we had.
Have fun, kids.
Yeah.
But it was a very jarring thing, and you brought up a good point. This must have been off mic because this was somewhere recently when this happened, but you said something to the fact that, like, the showrunner, same guy who directed Brand New Day, and chances are he's probably locked in now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I still think that holds true. But the problem is he also recently came out and said that he still really wanted to do Wonder Man.
Yeah.
Season 2.
And I actually saw, I think from one of the lead producers or something like that, so they actually came out and said that his schedule had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And because, like, he's about to go shoot a Naruto movie before he goes back to Spidey.
That's right.
So,
is that live action or?
Yeah.
Damn. Go Dylan and his weep game.
Yeah. Can't wait to have the Dylan on the review for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna need him to lead that one.
That's right. I mean, Naruto is pretty. It's like shonen, it's not really.
Yeah, it's just I don't know a whole lot about it.
Oh, okay.
And
well, like the Miz dresses like him.
Huh. I never thought about that, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like when he has the headband. Mm-hmm. That's like Sage Mode Naruto.
Okay.
That's what that is. Yeah.
Believe it. That's like a Naruto thing, right? Yeah. See.
So they need. As a matter of fact, now that we're mentioning this, I got a fix for both of these problems. They just need to add Obafemi to Phase 7. That'll be one of the movies, Obafemi.
Oh, it's just called Obafemi.
It's just called Obafemi, yeah. And it's just him,
But back to that subject, so it was the cancellation of Wonder Man. It was the hearing what Mahershala Ali had to say about his experience trying to get this Blade movie made.
It'd be like if they had cast RDJ as Iron Man and then never made the movie.
Right.
It's like you just nail this casting like you got the best possible human being that you could have gotten at that point in time.
Right.
And then you can't get the movie off the ground. And this is the same people who have made 2 Doctor Strange movies.
Yeah.
And that's a complicated one.
Right.
This is the people who made 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Technically James Gunn, but whatever. This is just Blade. He just drops one-liners and kills vampires.
And looks cool doing it.
That's it. As long as you got those things, we're okay with, that's like an 8 right there. If you want to get the rest of the way, then put a dope ass story in there.
Right.
But you could just give us,
right.
We could just take the other. I'll take the 8.
Yeah, for real though. I mean, and that would have been easy money for them.
Yeah, this was not hard.
It wasn't. And I think we discussed this maybe last episode or a previous episode, but it's a lot easier and dare I say, arguably cheaper to do that than Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm glad we're getting a Ghost Rider movie. But if you're looking for something to stake your supernatural, or I guess your darker, more, vampiric or monstrous side of Marvel, Blade's who you want to rest that on.
Yep.
So yeah, it was baffling to people how they could get nowhere with this Blade movie, but not only do they drop this Ghost Rider reveal, they have a release date for it and everything, and it's not even that far away, all things considered. So yeah, that bugged people the wrong way, and then there was it. It's like they were trying to placate us with, well, here's a new T'Challa, damn,
I mean, here's the other thing too. Is like, if you want to look at it, Mahershala Ali has a better box office track record than Ryan Gosling has. I mean, a lot of people look at it right now because he was in Barbie and then, he was in Project Hail Mary, which ran away with it.
La La Land.
Yeah, La La Land. But, like, those are the only real movies he's been in that have really charted. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, Blade Runner. But but that didn't make a ton of money.
Yeah, and, I mean, that's the IP kind of doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Yeah, same with Barbie. Like, someone else could have been Ken, and it would have been like, I mean, Simu Liu could have just done it. I mean, you know, and they could have got Nicolas Cage for the other one.
Jesus Christ! All right, wanted to get me in there,
but yeah, I mean, I like Ryan Gosling. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I mean, getting Blade off the ground should have been a sure thing.
Yep.
You also have Rhodey, who is established hero. You guys dropped the ball with him. Yep. You made him a Skrull, and then
what happened to Armor Wars?
Yeah, Armor Wars could have been amazing. You guys decided to make Iron Heart instead of Iron Wars or Armor Wars. Armor Wars would have been a great movie.
Yeah.
You guys could have knocked it out of the park with that.
Yeah, there was. Then you just mentioned Iron Heart. We watched that. Yeah, you guys probably forgot about that one, right? Again, very little promo that show received.
And Mephisto's in it.
Come on, yeah. We watched that, and similar to like Supergirl, like, yeah, this isn't that bad.
It was okay.
Yeah.
You know,
there were some moments in it that were pretty damn good. But no promo, no one saw it.
Yeah.
Eyes of Wakanda, as you mentioned, it got slashed. Where I think it was supposed to be like an 8-episode treatment, there was only 4.
Yeah.
Or something like that, and you can tell that we were missing some stuff. And thank goodness we discussed this, but we have a tremendous actor playing T'Challa Jr.
Yes.
David Johnson. For those of you who haven't seen what he's in, we spoke about him a few weeks ago. Go listen to that. The Comic News episode is actually where we spoke about him. Tremendous actor. The casting is not the problem. The casting is rarely the problem. The issue here is that we don't know what kind of character T'Challa Jr. is going to be because T'Challa Jr. doesn't exist.
Right.
And so we're really hoping that we get a character that is that resembles T'Challa Sr.
Right, yeah.
Because as it stands, you took a main pillar, a main Mount Rushmore entry in like black superhero characters, and you said that actor died, so we're never using that character again. And that really fucking sucks. And we just have to eat that.
I think this is kind of their way around it.
Yeah.
Know? But the thing about it is, Ryan Coogler's box office track record is so solid.
Yeah.
And both of the Black Panther movies have printed money.
The first one a lot more so than the sequel.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, I mean, the star died. Yeah. You know? The sequel still made a lot of money.
Yeah. I guess my point is more so is that character is gone.
Right.
And Ryan Coogler I have faith in. It's the people behind him who I don't have faith in.
Yeah.
And we don't know what kind of character T'Challa Jr. is going to be. And it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario, because what we want is, okay, well, we want T'Challa, right? And we want those T'Challa stories. But are you going to tell me that this kid is going to be just like his dad? He's going to have the same kind of strengths, weaknesses, concerns, worries, intellect, battle prowess, all that? It's doubtful. And then if he does, then what's the point of just not recasting him?
Right.
And so it's one of those things that just it's a conundrum of sorts.
I mean, it's definitely too late to recast him now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because he already died on screen or off screen or whatever. But
I mean, well, and also that, like, okay, he died.
So did Bucky.
He died and he died in the middle of the multiverse saga. All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a lot. You know, it is a lot. I think there is. I'll be honest with you. I have actually lost a lot of faith in Kevin Feige. I had a lot, but I mean, at this point, I kind of feel like some of these properties are thriving in spite of him, because every time I hear him talk about something, I kind of hate it. You know, he'll come out and go, "Oh man, yeah, I'm a big doofus for not getting Blade going." You know, like. But how did that happen, Kevin? Like, come on, bud. You know, and he'll come out and say things like, "Oh, you know, well, you know, when we poll audiences, the hardcore fans will say, 'Oh, you have to see these movies to know,' and the casual fans will say, 'Oh, you don't have to watch any of those. I completely understand it.'" And I'm like, "Okay, all right, man, sure,
right."
And you know, he's trying to retcon the Infinity Saga now. He's like, "Oh, you know, people are making up all this Thanos build up. He only, you know, grabbed a glove and like sat in a chair and talked to a dude." I'm like, but all the Infinity Stones were like the main plot point of all of the movies in those phases.
Bro, you call that retcon. I call that gaslighting.
It's straight up what it is. Yeah. I mean, the only difference is between a gaslight and a retcon is in a retcon, you have the power to actually change it.
Right.
You know, like, that's it. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's really tough to look at this and like still have faith in the Marvel machine.
Yeah,
I really don't. I think the things they're doing and the creatives that are working on them have a lot going for them. But I mean, you know, Destin Daniel Cretton, the Russos, RDJ. I mean, has a lot of input over like Doomsday and things like that. Those are the people that I think will make a good movie. I no longer think, oh, Kevin Feige is putting this out. He's going to shit gold. That ship has sailed. Same goes for you, James Gunn. So, you know.
Yeah. And so all we can really do right now is just hope that the Mutant Saga, because we have to assume that's going to be the next big chapter.
Absolutely, yes.
That's got to kill it. And we all know that the X-Men and mutant lore is steeped in social issues and commentary and political activism.
Yes.
And it's one of those things where you can't pull a Sam Wilson and shy away from it.
Right.
Which you really shouldn't have did that with Sam either.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those things that you have to face kind of head on. And I mean, shit, like Chris Claremont didn't like he knew what he was getting himself into when he started writing that, you know.
Yeah. So Magneto's gonna show up, right?
Yeah.
And he's gonna tell all the like, you know, human bigots that he's gonna do a speech.
Oh no.
He's gonna walk through and do a speech, and then he's gonna be like, "There, I fixed it." And then
he's gonna say, "Bigots, you got to do better.
You really got to do better.
You guys really got to do better.
You got to put that shit together."
Yeah, you've been doing a real bad job lately.
Yeah,
and I need you to do better. There.
Yeah, and then he's gonna like twirl, and like the back of his cape is gonna be embroidered to say Magneto is right, and then he's just gonna fly off, and that'll be roll credits.
Oh no! Not to spoil anything for Brand New Day. As a matter of fact, just in case, like hit that skip forward 10 seconds buttons like 3 times. But I think a thing that happens in Brand New Day, if I were Marvel, that would be the catalyst or the excuse as to why people hate a certain group of people
Yeah.
In the MCU.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's clear that they're going in that direction.
Well, you say that.
Yeah. Also, they like on that note, maybe, but like the thing that he creates is definitely going to be a thing because Banner even comments specifically on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Yeah. And a certain group of people now technically have that, that technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's the way to go. And hopefully they don't fucking forget all of this between now and the X-Men.
Do you think, that, because like we just got like the New York branch damage control, do you see a scenario where like a Mr. Sinister or somebody like that is maybe at the very top of that organization?
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be real fun. We're going to get into it before I start spoiling shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we should probably move on.
This is like one of the longest cold opens. We've had an hour-long cold open before, though.
We have. Pretty recently, actually.
Yeah. Huh.
So.
Well, all right.
All right, folks.
Now that we're warmed up now.
We are.
We're going to go ahead and get into the thing. So with that being said, homies one and all, welcome back to another very special episode of the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm here with the world's greatest co-host. I'm referring to none other than the homie Caleb.
Yeah, you always say that these are very special, but I think this one actually is a pretty special episode because we'll talk about wrestling in a cold open every now and again, but it's very rarely, if ever, the main topic of discussion.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, I used to have a podcast that just talked about wrestling, and that was basically it. And I decided that I really didn't want to do that. And not that I don't enjoy talking about wrestling, but more so, I don't enjoy talking about. I don't enjoy being like heavily critical all the time, and so much of the wrestling that was going on television at that time, and even now, I would have been heavily critical of. And I also think that there are probably people better suited to do that, like Jim Cornette. Also, shout out to some friends of the show, Tapped Out Wrestling Podcast. Those guys cover everything, and they're really great. Yes. So I'm going to let them handle it. But today, we're going to talk about some wrestling.
Yeah, this is one of those things that I think every once in a while is good for us to talk about. Just get it all out there.
We have a very interesting, I think, set of opinions on wrestling just because we are kind of in that, we're at the age, right, around the same age that like CM Punk and Cody Rhodes are.
Yeah.
Where we were trained by the old school mentality.
Right.
But we also don't, 100% just full tilt subscribe to that mentality. Although the longer things go on, I feel like, maybe.
Yeah.
But we also, grew up on Attitude Era wrestling, Monday Night Wars wrestling. We also can look at what like the kids are doing now and go, that's rubbish nonsense.
Yeah.
For the most part. So I think we have an interesting kind of viewpoint on it.
I agree. And it's one of those things where it's like as time goes on, I have to stop and ask myself, man, like I still feel good, and I'm still able to do things, but am I becoming the crotchety old man? Because I don't want to be that. And, not to start off on anything negative, but there is a difference between something evolving and something just changing.
Right. And there's also a difference in drivers, right? Of what's the catalyst for that change? I like to bring this, this is my favorite example of this, is the RPG.
Yeah.
No gamers went, we hate turn-based games, and we would like to just click buttons. Square Enix decided that gamers didn't want that, and so they stopped making it. And then if you look at it now, there's a huge resurgence of it. Out of the last 5 Game of the Year, 2 of them have been turn-based RPGs.
Right.
One of them is the most celebrated game of all time, which is Baldur's Gate 3. It's the only game to ever win all of the major game awards. The market didn't dictate that change. They just decided, we have the technology now to do this and this, and so that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
But people really love that playstyle, and that to me is like one of the finest examples of it. I think that there's a lot of, the sort of the new age kind of wrestling today that very much takes from a similar kind of standpoint of, crowds, audience, the wrestling audience today, they want the same thing that wrestling audiences have always wanted at a base level, which I think is good guy versus bad guy.
Yeah.
A very simple story. And simple doesn't mean bad. It's about a medium. I don't want to read a 1,200-page novel about the concept of good versus evil at a base level. But will I really enjoy a 15-minute wrestling match about that if it's done properly? Absolutely, because it's about the medium.
Right. I think all that is extremely well put, and it's one of those interesting concepts, though, right? Because you look at it today, and you have to wonder, okay, people that are like young adults, like the people who are like the age of Javon Evans, like early 20s.
Yeah.
You talk about what we grew up watching, which was the Attitude Era. I remember when the wrestling bug bit me. Like I had been a fan for years, but when the bug bit me, I had tricked my mother into ordering WrestleMania 17 because I convinced her that it was the same thing. It's like a regular movie on demand. It was not.
Right.
And I mean, for those of you who know, WrestleMania 17 is one of them ones, And watching that, I was like, holy shit, this is tremendous. And, I was like 11 when that came out. And you look at it now, if you have someone who was like 22 years old, when they were, like 10 or 11 years old, that was just 10 years ago.
Right.
And so what was wrestling like for them at that time? And how, because surely that has to play a role in what they like now and how they adapt to wrestling.
Yeah. Like WrestleMania 32.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
I think it also, not to shit on John Cena, I think that John Cena is probably a great person. I think he's a way better actor than wrestler. But I think that's where a lot of his fan base also kind of comes from. You see like young adults now, like they're like, I fucking love Cena.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that is because the only people that liked him when he was hot were children.
Yeah.
And so they like him now.
Yeah.
And you can't tell them anything, but, and there's also a fuck ton of gaslighting, from the Fed on this too. But I'm going to go ahead and say it right now, and I don't think this is a hot take. So I'm just going to put this out here. To me, Cena has never at any point been great or good, in my opinion. I think that he has risen to the occasion in certain matches, but to go out and go, well, the guy had a stellar match with AJ Styles. Okay. I can have a stellar match with AJ Styles.
Right now.
Mm-hmm. And I'm old and out of ring shape tremendously. I am A shape, but it's not ring. I'm ring shaped, but I'm not in ring shape.
I'm so glad you bring that up because every time I encounter a John Cena apologist, it's always, he had fantastic matches with AJ Styles, Edge, Kevin Owens,
like the who's who of
Right.
Yeah, where is his stellar match with Batista? That didn't happen. Because I'll be honest with you, Batista's not very good.
Yeah.
But Rey Mysterio had great matches with him. Undertaker got amazing matches out of him. Eddie Guerrero. Mm-hmm. I mean, these people had great matches with him.
Yeah.
So to say that, he had great matches with like Shawn Michaels, like,
yeah,
okay, everybody had a great match with Shawn Michaels.
Right. Yeah, it's about like, or CM Punk is another one. Like, no shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Rene Dupree had great matches with Shawn Michaels.
Right.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like it's one of those things where it's just like I think that you guys are looking at this from a different perspective than what you should be. Like those were great matches that John Cena was in. I can't say that those were great John Cena matches because he was a byproduct of the match. He wasn't the cause of it.
Well, he recently came out in an interview and is in a lot of hot water for this, saying that he purposefully made the WrestleMania match with Cody terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, number one,
We could tell.
yeah, I mean, for me, I'll be honest with you, it was just as bad as all his other matches. It was just slow, you know. But to intentionally make a match bad is not novel. It's not
working the gimmick.
It's not even professional.
No.
And honestly, what he doesn't realize is he was shitting on the fans in a shoot form because there were people there that paid multiple times their fucking rent to be there. And then there were, a lot of people there that were there for Cody as well. And, obviously it was a pro Cena crowd because, like, most of the people that rushed to buy those tickets is like, oh, we want to see Cena's last WrestleMania.
Right.
WWE shit all over Cody Rhodes in that. Like, a lot of the problems that they're having with him now, where there's a portion of the fan base that doesn't like Cody, it all comes from that. Like, they really set it off right there. And this was just unprofessional. I mean, this was Hogan and Bret Hart with Hogan coming out and just taking the title off Yokozuna, That's exactly what that was that night. And for him to come out and say that, it's just plain awful. I mean, yeah, he came back for SummerSlam and they had a decent match at SummerSlam. It was good. But that's what the first match should have been.
Yeah. I agree.
This was the guy that you're here to pass the torch to. And I also vehemently disagree with Cena beating him at Mania also,
Yeah. I mean, it's like for what?
Yeah. That would be like if Mania this year is Roman Reigns beating Obafemi.
Right. Like, for what?
Yeah.
Like, why would you bury the guy who could lead the company for the next 10, 15 years?
And I would be more okay with that than I was with Cena beating Cody.
Yeah.
Because I do occasionally like Roman.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. The thing about Roman is that he found his lane where he could flourish, and he found a lane where he can just really thrive in, what he's really good at. So come to find out, you let him be the Samoan badass that he is, and he can cut a good promo.
Yeah. And
you let him, especially as a heel, work a match at a heel's pace. It's not bad.
Yeah.
You let the man's aura do most of the talking, because the dude does have extreme aura.
Yes.
And like, if you let him just do that and be that, surround him with his family to big him up even more. Put Paul Heyman right there to big him up even more. I mean, yeah. And it's Roman Reigns going heel, I think, is one of the best things about Vince McMahon leaving. Because I think if Vince has still been there in like full creative control, I don't know if we ever get it. So, thankfully, Vinnie Mac wasn't really in full creative control when the Bloodline angle kicked off.
I'll be honest too. I mean, now that he's been in there with Rollins a lot lately, and now that he is away from Heyman, and we're kind of in like the later NWO era, like '99 of the Bloodline angle.
Yep.
Every now and then, we get a little bit of the big dog, which is dreadful.
Yeah.
So he's completely capable of sinking back into that terrible, 100% awful, and wasn't good for a single millisecond gimmick. I can't wait for the revisionism on that. I mean, we've got 12 years of Shield nostalgia, and the Shield was only around for 2 years.
That's true. Yeah, and that's the thing people forget. Like, the Shield, they weren't around that long.
Yeah. And they weren't as over as people try to make it out like they were either.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, they got pops.
Yes.
But, yeah, they weren't like the biggest faction of all time in the WWE or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you'd believe they were, the second coming of Evolution, the way that people talk about it. And I'm like, that entire group, like, regardless of what you want to say, like, Batista obviously is like the weak link of that group, and I'm not really a big fan of Orton either. That group was absolutely stellar. The Shield was really originally brought in to be these kind of like indie guys that were helping out Punk. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, obviously they all became stars in their own right. But 12 years of nostalgia for something that is, was only around for a short period of time, was never at the height that they pretend that it was at.
Yeah. All great points. That does kind of lead to something else. This is a pro wrestling problem. It's not just strictly WWE. It is probably 3 times as bad in AEW. But I want to focus on WWE right now in terms of this particular problem, just because they should know better. Whereas, with all due respect to AEW, I don't think they're really interested in telling in-ring stories.
Right. No, they're not.
But the issue here that I have, especially after watching SummerSlam, because I was finally able to see, a decent amount of Night 2.
Yeah, we watched Night 1 together.
Yeah. The problem that I think is plaguing pro wrestling is the finish is dead. Like people having moves that end matches.
Yes.
It doesn't mean anything now.
Yeah, I want to touch on what you said about AEW. I do not want to turn this into an AEW bashing session because that's all it will be, right? This would be like the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Like I could just talk forever on this. But I'm going to be honest with you. I do not even look at AEW as being a professional wrestling company. What they're doing to me is not professional wrestling. And there are going to be AEW marks that'll slam this show off right now just at me saying that. Like, oh, how are you going to call the entertainment company pro wrestling, whatever? Because pro wrestling's always been entertainment.
Right.
Even back in the oldest days, it was a carny act.
Right.
It was, oh, we're going to have this big guy, and he's going to, beat up a couple people, and we're going to take bets on who's going to win.
There'll be plants in the crowd.
Yeah, and there'll be a plant in the crowd, and after a couple people, they'll point at Joe Schmo that doesn't look like he could beat him, and then this guy will come in, beat his ass, and they take everybody's money, and that's why wrestling fans are called marks.
Yep.
That's the history of it. And it evolved into, like WWF, things like that, the old school NWA. And then that legacy, kind of led into eventually Vince McMahon taking over the fucking world and turning it into this global phenomenon. And you could say, yeah, WWE is more entertainment, but it's always been an entertainment thing. Even if you go all the way back to like the very first WrestleMania, I mean, fucking Mr. T was in it. Mr. T can't work,
right? Yeah.
Like there's always been this stuff. Now, is it a valid criticism to say that the sponsorships, the ads, and the celebrity appearances in WWE today are way over the top? Absolutely. But like, you're talking about adding things that I don't like to a thing that I do, whereas AEW is just a thing I don't even have any interest in. There is nobody in AEW at any level that is trying to produce a believable contest.
Right.
At no point are they trying to make me believe that these 2 or 4 or however many people are fighting each other. I know they're not. Your job is to make me forget that I know that.
Yeah. It's called immersion.
Exactly. And AEW doesn't offer that to me. If you like it, I want you to have it.
Yes.
They're going to keep making it. Like, I promise you. I just don't have any interest in it. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, man, you should really check out AEW. No, I have. Not only have I checked out AEW, I have a lot of friends there. Like, I know at least like 10 people on that roster personally. I get it. Like, and I really support them and everything they do. And I think some of them are very talented wrestlers. But the things that they are doing and the objective of that company, the objective is not to produce a thing that I'm ever going to like.
Yeah. I think the nicest thing I can say about AEW, not being mean or facetious or tongue-in-cheek, I think the best thing I can say about them is that they are a phenomenal alternative to professional wrestling.
Sure. Yeah. I really love, like, I disagree with Tony Khan on a litany of things. And a lot of that has to do with, me being friends with Darius Lockhart and the way that both he and Cedric Alexander and his wife, Big Swole, how all of them were treated by Tony Khan. I have a huge issue with that. But I will say, too, that I really agree with, the wrestlers having a place to work where they are paid well.
Good schedule.
Yeah, good schedule. Which both places have a good schedule now.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of times where wrestlers have gotten hurt. TK's taking care of them, even if they got hurt, not even in the ring.
Right.
So I really love that aspect of it. And you got to remember, if AEW didn't exist, the TNA probably would be bigger than it is. But even then, only so many people could fit in there. TNA's had money problems for years.
Yeah.
There's not really an alternative. WWE kind of used to have these people by the balls because it's like you can work here and make money,
right?
Or you can go out there and scrape.
Yeah. And
those were your only options. So am I glad that there's another place that you could that the craft can if you're someone who is a professional wrestler, can you go there and make money? Absolutely, I'm glad of that. But that doesn't mean that's like saying that I really like Peter Pan peanut butter, right? That's like saying that some of the Peter Pan peanut butter employees are going to go over here and start an onion pizza factory, right? Am I glad they got a job? Absolutely. Do I want to eat onion pizza? No.
No. Yeah. Right. And that's like a really great point though, because to your point, I am really glad that there is this other wrestling company besides WWE that guys can go and work at and make a great living and do the thing that they love. It's just not for me. And I remember a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, I was on someone else's podcast. They had reached out, and I said, I'll come and be on your podcast. And they invited me on an episode that was about wrestling. And they wanted to do this kind of bracket style elimination thing to determine what's the greatest tag team of all time. And obviously the only person who I even kind of remotely was familiar with was the host. Everyone else on this show on this panel, no idea.
Right.
First time meeting them. Most of them seemed like really good people. There was this one guy who was just a complete AEW mark.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Probably thought the Young Bucks should be in this bracket.
He thought, he wanted them to win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They didn't, right?
They got way further than they were like, and it's like, the episode got to a point, Caleb, where my input had no control. Once you start putting, fucking, I don't know, okay, I'm gonna put it this way. Dax and Cash, those guys got bummed out so early.
FTR got bumped out early.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah. While guys, don't get me wrong, I think the Usos are a fine tag team, but they made it super far. They beat out Dudley's, Hardy's, Edge and Christian. I think
these people are marks, right, on this show. Okay, cool, got it.
I mean, clearly,
yeah. I mean, that's the story you're telling me. Yeah, I mean,
and then it was not only that, but guys like Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express. There's it's you guys, with all due respect, clearly don't know that much about pro wrestling, which is fine. I just need to know where to put myself at.
The Rock and Roll Express is a better tag team than the Young Bucks right now.
Right now.
Yeah. And I like how I was I don't want to turn this into AEW hate session. And then it just became that. And that's why I don't want to talk about it, because it's going to become this. Mm-hmm. But I will say that, AEW has a decent tag division right now. Very good tag division. And, there really isn't a tag division in WWE anymore.
They killed it.
They destroyed it.
WWE killed it.
Yeah.
That's on them. They have good tag teams. They don't push.
They used to have more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, even the ones they have, they don't use.
But I mean, they let arguably Mount Rushmore of tag teams go.
Yeah.
Over trying to cut their pay in half.
Right.
Which, by the way, I got to meet and chat with Kofi Kingston just a few weeks ago.
That's awesome.
And he gave me quite a few hints about where he might be headed.
That is great.
And I can't reveal it here. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
understandable.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's two different mindsets. And like, don't get me wrong, I would love to have a place that had more of a sports-based presentation of pro wrestling. I really like a lot of the ideas that were early on, where it's like, oh, we're going to have a ranking system to determine who should be the number one contender. I think that's cool. But then, you know, you go and put that alongside like, oh, man, we're going to bring in some people that like nobody's ever heard of that have no charisma whatsoever, and we're going to put them in all these important spots. Or, you know, Jericho's going to have a pool full of Jell-O match or whatever the fuck that thing is that they had.
Yeah.
You know, and just all these kind of like really ridiculous things. Or even worse than that, you're going to put on a fucking 4-hour pay-per-view where I feel like I've seen every single match feels exactly like the match before and after it.
Yeah.
All the way down the card.
You know, there's plenty of criticism to go around. Just to give you guys an example here, I think that WWE has a problem of them being formulaic, very formulaic at times.
Yeah.
But to bring this back to AEW just briefly, their problem is that they don't chase, and I don't mean to be so disparaging towards them, but it's harder to tell a story than it is to have a spot fest.
Yeah.
And you can get the fans behind you. You can get the oohs and ahs. You can get the loudest pops if you get in there and you just tell a story. You and your opponent just tell a story, like a great story, and you have them. You can also get oohs and ahs if you go out there and have a spot fest.
Yeah.
The problem is, you can go out there the next night and tell a different story and get that same pop. How are you going to top that spot fest you had last night?
Yeah.
And that's where they're at now.
I was actually listening to Undertaker talk about this morning, actually. And he was talking about, you know, okay, you know, you go out there and you hit a springboard twisting gainer to the outside, you know, onto somebody, and the crowd, oh my God, we've never seen that before. Okay, well, then you hit it next week on NXT, and then you hit it the next week, and then the crowd's like, oh, we've seen that.
Yeah.
You know? You can't gain anything from it. The diminishing returns are immense.
And the risk is always going up.
Yeah, it's like trying to go buy a new car every week and then trying to sell that new car the next week.
Yeah.
You know, you're just bleeding cash, you know? And a lot of people, you know, when AJ retired, there was like a lot of, you know, banter on the internet, mostly with like AEW marks, being like, oh, he's going to leave WWE and go to AEW. I'm like, no, he isn't. Like, if you listen to AJ talk, I actually just listened to his whole interview with Chris Van Vliet, and you listen to AJ talk, he doesn't have any interest in wrestling that way.
Right.
And this is the best guy. He's the greatest wrestler alive right now.
Yeah.
He could go with anybody right now to the maximum possible level. And if you don't believe that, Stone Cold, CM Punk, and John Cena all agree with me. Oh, and Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
You know? So if those four people were to all tell me that Roman Reigns was the greatest wrestler, I believe him. I'd be like, well, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, my opinion.
He must be.
He must be. You know, I don't see it, but he must fucking be. You know? And like AJ just doesn't have any interest in working like that. He talks about, you know, he hates watching his old TNA stuff because he's like, what was I doing, man? Like, why?
I was going to bring that up.
You know, why would I go out there and watch? You know, why did I do these like 5-6 spots? Right. I'm just trying to go out there and get pops, and it's not doing anything. Yeah, you know.
And this is again, like, this isn't just two schmoes on a podcast right now. AJ Styles said that.
Yeah, yeah, we're just agreeing with the greatest there is.
Yeah.
So
it's just one of those things that is mind blowing. And it's so frustrating because I do think that AEW has a plethora of tremendous talent and even more potential. Sure. I think there's some people there who are just kind of lost causes, you know. I mean, you're not going to get it's too late to make the Young Bucks into actual pro wrestlers or
Kenny Omega, Adam Page, all of them.
John Moxley.
Terrible. Probably one of the worst wrestlers working anywhere right now.
You talk about revisionist history.
Oh, yeah. 100%, yeah.
Wow.
You know, the thing, too, about that kind of wave is it's contagious, for one. Like, these are the top guys. But, like, a lot of people, you know, you'll hear people say, oh, man, you know, everybody in the top of WWE is over 40, and they all, you know, it's all the same people. I'm like, the same people have been in the top of AEW
for 7 years.
From the very first day it opened. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Bucks are always at the top. Even if they're not the tag champions, whatever the fuck they're doing is above whoever has the tag titles.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can have whatever you want. My storyline is here. If they have the tag belts or they're in the running for the tag belts, that's the top tag story. Mm-hmm. If they're not, then they are the top tag story and the belts are secondary.
Yeah.
It's been that way for 7 years. Kenny Omega, the only reason he hasn't been in the main event for 7 years is because he got hurt.
Yep.
Every time that he hasn't been hurt, he's been at the top. Mm-hmm. At one point, they had like 8 titles on this motherfucker walking around. Yeah. And a faction full of people that I would challenge any of you to name any of the people that were in that shit. Like, wow. It was like, what, Don Callis?
Yep, the Don Callis family.
And him, and then a bunch of fucks. Mm-hmm. You know, Adam Page, right? I thought when I first saw this dude that he had a lot of promise. Yeah. Completely wrong. Yep. You know? They had the Lucha Brothers. Mm-hmm. Well. And you see where Penta's at right now.
Right.
Penta was not a star there, and now he is an international star.
Yes.
He was a bigger star when he walked in the door there than he was when he walked out.
Yeah. Presentation is a lot. Like, obviously, it's always going to be up to the wrestler, but they can put you in a position where you can get over.
Yeah. And I mean, they got Samoa Joe, which thank God they got Samoa Joe. Right. And I like Swerve. I do.
Me too. But Swerve, he's surrounded by bad influences, if you ask me.
He is, yeah. I mean, the we're gonna stick each other in the head with a syringe during the match.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit here and let you poke me through the mouth of the syringe. And when I watch this, I'm thinking, okay, I have a strong stomach and all that, but this is back to one of your earlier points, Caleb. If I'm a wrestler, I'm thinking, how is this gonna help me win the match right now?
Yeah.
Like, if I pick up the center block and hit you over the head with it, that's fucking gruesome and this never be done in a wrestling match. But at least I can see me winning that way.
Yeah.
If I were to stick you with a syringe, like, okay, you might get like HIV and die 12 years from now, but I need to beat you right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is the point of that besides the shock factor? You're chasing the pop.
Yeah. I agree. And I mean, do I think that they put on some amazing cards? Yeah, they do. I don't think All In is one of them. I'm not really hyped about that at all. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of the hypocrisy is crazy with, like, you know, saying that, point at WWE and say all the same people are on top. But that's really, I mean, there's more people in the rotation in the main event picture in the Fed than there is in AEW.
And also, while they may be right about the same people over 40 being on top of WWE, say what you want, that is true, but those people draw money, and that's where they're on top.
Also, the Bucks ain't no spring chickens. They're just called the Young Bucks. They're not young.
The Bucks are our age.
Yeah, they're the balding Bucks. Yeah, you know, the counterfeit Bucks. Anyway, let's talk about SummerSlam because we just spent 20 minutes doing the thing and I said we didn't want to do it all.
That's true.
But you opened the floodgates, man.
I cracked the door open and you just, wow.
Yeah, I know. I can't help it. It's like somebody bringing up Star Wars sequel trilogy, man. I'm telling you.
And that's your third time bringing that up.
I know. I'm not going to talk about it.
You're baiting me right now.
I'm not going to talk about it. So let's talk SummerSlam. Yes. What's your highlight of SummerSlam? Like the thing that, you know, most brought you back to being like a 10-year-old kid watching pro wrestling, something you really are not, that'll be memorable to you. And it's okay if there's not a thing. And then what's like the low point for you for SummerSlam?
Okay, well, for me, the low point, well, I can get that one off easy. It was definitely that the 6-woman tag match.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to go for. For me, the low point was Baron Corbin winning.
Oh, yeah. See, like I didn't actually get to see that.
Oh, that's right. You weren't there.
I wasn't there.
That's right. Yeah, I told you about that. Yeah.
And so I didn't get to see it on that, you know. And the problem is this, right? That's awful, and I hate that Baron Corbin beat Trick Williams. Okay. Don't get me wrong. On one hand, if you're gonna bring Corbin back, I hate to say this, but I get it to a degree. What's the point of bringing him back just to fucking beat him just like that? But Trick Williams, he's on the up and up. Like, unless this motherfucker's about to win Money in the Bank, like, I don't know why you would do that now.
The only thing I can see is that they brought him back to put guys over.
Yeah.
And I get it, but like,
and there's ways for Corbin to have lost that match and still look strong,
Sure. Yeah.
But they didn't go for that. But I guess the point I was making though is that like it infuriates me that Baron Corbin beat Trick Williams. I didn't feel anything for that 6-woman tag match though.
Right.
And
you're supposed to be upset about it.
Yeah. So, and apparently, I think Brie legit got hurt. She has a shoulder injury.
The women's ladder match all night too. I had very low expectations for that because Chelsea Green is the only person in that match that I like.
She won.
Yeah. The pop. Did you see the match?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw at least the highlights of that.
The pop that she got was like, if there had been a roof, she would have blown it off. Absolutely. I think she was more over than anyone except for one person, which would be Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Oh man, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But man, when Chelsea won, I was ecstatic.
Me too.
Because I don't watch Unreal because I hate the concept of that show.
Yeah, it's Unreal is just as there. Okay, so if Monday Night Raw is 100% a work, Unreal is also 100% a work.
Yeah, but here's the fucked up thing. Unreal is also a work that exposes the business to the T.
Yes.
So what is the point?
Right, yeah.
But
I honestly, though, I think a lot of people watch Unreal, and I get it, because, like, there's so many people now that, like, love Dark Side of the Ring, which we'll talk about that in a minute, too. And I'm one of those people. And it's almost like the subculture of the business is just as interesting and sometimes more interesting than what's actually going on. So this is their effort to try to tap into a little bit of that and to get these, smart marks to go, oh, I have this insider info. I saw this, but like it's all a work anyway. I mean, I've seen people being like, oh man, they should fire Michael P.S. Hayes. He said on Unreal that he didn't see why this person should have gone over, blah, blah. And I'm like, they probably should fire him, but not from some stage shit that you watched on Netflix.
Right.
Like, if it's on a program that has that, here's how you can tell if it's a work, okay? If the program you're watching has that little W in the bottom left-hand corner, it's a work.
It's a work. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the sponsorships and WWE have gotten completely out of hand.
The horrible root beer Chad Gable moment.
Like,
I don't know that they told Chad Gable that was happening.
That was awful.
It was
like, what do you say to that? Like, he has this banger match with Penta, and he finally wins the IC title, and he's got his family in there, and he's giving this heartfelt speech. And what the fuck is this?
And then this pit bull in a suit.
Yeah. Was that Mug Root Beer?
Yeah,
because that's the only one I know that has a mascot. Yeah. The fucking Mug Bulldog Root Beer Man.
Yeah. The horrifying, cryptid creature, the Mud Root Beer Man.
The Mud Root Beer Man finally makes an appearance.
I'm going to explain to you guys. Do you know why none of the other root beers have a mascot? Because they don't fucking need it. Because they're not gross.
Shit. But man, that was awful. Seeing Slim Jim plastered on every table that people go through is awful.
I don't mind that as much. Because,
no, me either.
Just because Slim Jim, like the Slim Jim is such a huge part of wrestling from like the amount if you totaled up all the money that they've put into pro wrestling, it's probably an insane amount.
Pro wrestling and Slim Jim go way, way back.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me as bad. Honestly, and I hate to side with Vince McMahon on anything, but I really don't like the logos in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
On the canvas. I get that it makes it feel sportier.
It does, because UFC does it.
But I think it takes away from the presentation considerably. Mm-hmm. I also feel like the logos in UFC aren't as gaudy as the ones they put in the WWE ring. Like, I think they tend to mostly be like black and white or like not like stand out-ish or whatever.
It's something about it where maybe it's because of the octagon where you just don't, they're just not as prevalent.
Yeah, it's a little higher and it's got the cage and it's just, you don't really see it as much, but like in the wide open squared circle, man, you know, and the fucking big ass green and yellow Subway logo going across the mat or whatever. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, at SummerSlam, not only do they have the cryptid mug root beer dog man, they also had the goddamn general.
Yeah.
who maybe not be a cryptid, but he's something along those lines. They should have those two fight or something. Could have been a match.
Yeah.
I don't like all that. But it's also just the incessant number of commercials.
It's terrible.
Remember back when like you would order a wrestling pay-per-view, the only commercials you would get were wrestling commercials.
Yeah, for like the next event or whatever.
If you're watching the Royal Rumble, you get commercials leading up to WrestleMania.
I'm going to go ahead and let WWE know this, man. I would pay, like, ESPN, I think it's like $30 a month. I would pay double that if I could get a version with no ads. But the problem with that is, while everybody else is watching the ads, they have to give me filler bullshit anyway.
Yeah,
you know,
that is the problem.
When they were doing the whole Peacock thing, you know, if you had the expensive Peacock, you got the build-up video to the match.
Yeah.
And during the build-up video, they would play ads to the pours.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Which is so fucked.
Yeah, and they just didn't even get the build-up videos. Yeah.
Speaking of which, what happened to video packages?
They had some. Lesnar and Femi had a good one.
Yeah.
Punk and Cody had a good one, but it's really only the big matches that tend to get them these days.
The issue I have with that is I'm glad that the big matches have them because it adds even more ambiance to it.
But it used to be all the matches on a pay-per-view had.
Because what about the match that is good, but would have been better if people had more context, more hype going into it?
And the thing about that too, the problem with that is, in order to have a build-up package, you have to build the match. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, that is that.
You can't just kind of throw it together for the pay-per-view. So that's a problem.
Well, you know, hey, got to start somewhere.
I want to talk about that ladder match though for a second, man. I had very little expectations for that match.
Yeah.
I also, you know, I don't have a ton of confidence in most of the competitors in that match. You know, I'm not a Charlotte Flair fan at all.
Yeah.
If her last name wasn't Flair, you wouldn't know who she is. I'm very confident in saying that. Lash Legend, I think, is okay.
Yeah, she's still green, but she's got potential.
Big fan of Chelsea.
Yeah.
Who else?
Tiffy.
Tiffy, I think, peaked. I think she got something that was working with Tiffy time.
Yeah.
And I think she just failed to evolve beyond that. I think, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to be, you know, the main event, whatever. Like your star kind of rose and fell, and she could stay there and be. I mean, I think Natalya's an excellent wrestler. She was a mid-carder in WWE for decades.
Yeah.
You know, I think Tiffy could have that kind of spot. You know. Yeah.
I think the difference though is that like Natty understands the business on such a high level.
Yeah.
Because she grew up in it. She was born in it.
Right.
But Tiffany Stratton, like, she's been in the business for, 5 years total, maybe? You know? Like, she still doesn't really understand a lot of it. And I'm not saying that she hasn't improved, because she definitely has, and I'm sure that she understands more about ring psychology now than she did, 3 years ago.
Yes.
But learning how to get over, especially in a place like the WWE, like that, if you can learn that, then you're fucking set.
Yeah.
And I don't think that she knows how to do that yet.
And then we got Jade Cargill, who I love the presentation.
Uh-huh.
I love the Storm vibes.
Yep.
She looks like $1 billion.
Yes, she does.
You know, but she isn't. She's never going to understand pro wrestling. She just doesn't get it. and I don't think that she ever will. And that's super unfortunate because when I saw her debut in WWE, like I never liked any of her work in AEW.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to package her. When I saw her debut in WWE, I went, with the right amount of work and time, this person could be the next China or even bigger than that. And that's wrong. Some people, it just will not ever click for you, and some people it will. Like if you look, and it's not about your background either. If you look at Kurt Angle,
right,
like this man is a killer, right?
Yeah.
Like from middle school age, if I'm standing across from you, my job is to put you on the ground and beat you.
Yeah.
You're done. Right. This man won the Olympics with a broken freaking neck. If you didn't know,
you become the best in the world at that thing.
Yeah, and pro wrestling came so naturally to him. I mean, you look at like the football stars that have come to pro wrestling. It's a mixed bag. Some of them have done insanely well.
Right.
Some of them have done terribly.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
it's across the board.
It's hard to say yet, but I think Oba, he's not on that level, obviously, like a Kurt Angle, but I think that he's taken to it extremely well.
He gets it
in
a way that I don't think Brock even gets it. And, we'll talk about that, like Brock putting him over, and Brock is officially retired now, came out and said that he officially is retired. And that was kind of evident at the show because you ain't never seen this man hug somebody other than Paul Heyman.
Right.
And put someone over like that.
So blatantly. I mean, he put it so that even the dumbest of dummies can understand it.
Yeah. And I think that, like, Triple H just said that, like, Brock spends a lot of time with Oba. Like, he really, really respects him.
You can tell.
And, like, you can tell with Oba, it's like, he gets it, man. He really, really gets it. And he is, in my opinion, this incredibly rare, like, just perfect storm of, he understands the business. He has an insane presence, and he actually has the charisma on the mic, too.
Yes.
I love when he went after CM Punk and was like, oh, you cut a dope promo? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Step up, bitch. Like,
Yeah. That's for me, it's just so damn awesome. And I love to see that because, again, people talk about WWE only pushing the same people. Listen, they gave Oba a shot, and Oba ran with that fucking ball.
Trick Williams
also, yeah.
I think Javon, for whatever reason, is not quite there. But, I mean, the kid's so young, man.
Yeah.
I worked with him just super briefly on the indies. Like, we were at the same shows. I never, like, booked him necessarily. But I did get a chance to speak to him a couple times. And, was at a couple shows he was on. Very bright kid, very talented, sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
For him to be where he's at his age and whatnot is awesome. And I think he will get there. I like the way that WWE is packaging him.
I think with Javon, like, they know they got something special here, but they don't have to hit the gas immediately.
Right. Yeah.
Like, sometimes a slow build is best,
So what's the SummerSlam highlight for you?
Oh, man. Punk's moonsault. No.
Oh, no. We found out the CM stands for can't moonsault.
I mean, for me, it's got to be Oba and Brock.
Yeah. I mean, my only note for that match, and I think we all kind of echoed this, is like the powerbomb at the end should have been on the boards.
Should have been on the boards. That and also, did it need to be Hell in a Cell?
I'll be honest, man. I really enjoyed that match.
Me too.
Like, the cell didn't get used a lot, but I really enjoyed that match, and I love that. My favorite thing about that match is that they tried to bring back some of the ambiance of the cell.
Yeah. And
not just the idea of this is another match type. I never want to see another Hell in a Cell ever again that starts on the floor. Like, that fucking moment when the two competitors are in the ring and you see the cell lower around them.
Yeah.
That is fucking cool.
Right.
This shit where, like, the cell's are going to be on the floor, you guys are going to play the music, I'm going to walk in the door and get in the ring. Nah, dog, don't do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to see that shit ever again.
Right. I agree.
This felt like a Hell in a Cell of old. It was not as long.
Right.
Or as brutal as some of the old ones. Like, if you look at, like, the Triple H Mankind obviously the two original Undertaker ones.
Or even Taker versus Brock from, like, 8-9 years ago.
Yeah. Or, the Triple H Taker. That was probably one of the most recent ones. Or you even go back and, like the... Triple H Mankind, Triple H Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
All of those. Like, those were brutal, but the first two Undertaker ones, they really worked the aura of the match.
Right.
And I love that they did that here.
Yeah.
And that was so important. I thought that match was, I mean, like I said, my only note for that match is that the powerbomb should have been on the boards.
Yeah. Yep, agreed. Still, excellent match, great moment. And for me, like, I think from overall presentation, the in-ring work, the selling, Brock can sell his ass off when he wants to.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if he likes you and if he respects you, he'll sell for you like crazy.
We saw that with Goldberg, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was incredible money magic. Just,
right.
For them to take their original match, which is remembered as being the low point in a WrestleMania that otherwise sucked anyway.
Yep.
Like, the main event was by far the greatest thing at that Mania. Not even close.
Right.
And that isn't even that great anymore, considering.
Considering, yeah. WrestleMania 20.
Yeah. But that match was considered to be by far the worst thing on the card. Everyone hated it. And so for them to come back and make magic and do the last thing anybody expected.
Right.
That was cool as hell.
Oh, yeah.
And they took Goldberg, who was a guy that a lot of people weren't that interested in at the time. Why is this guy back? And just put him,
Yeah, his stock went way back up to where it was.
Right. And that's tough to do because
yeah,
we both remember a point in time where Bill Goldberg was like the final boss,
Yeah. One of these days, we're going to have a conversation about Paul Heyman and his ability to book matches.
Yeah.
I mean, because or his ability...
He's more of a produce.
Yeah, about to say his ability to produce matches, I should say.
Yeah.
Because, what he did with that very first Brock and Roman match, no one had ever seen that before.
Yeah.
What he did with Brock and Goldberg, no one thought they would see something like that. He has the ability to... He just knows how to work with certain people. He leans into people's strengths, full tilt.
I mean, I've said this, many, many times. Probably getting a little into the weeds here. Maybe a little higher level than people outside the business would want to know. But, as someone who spent a very long amount of time booking wrestling, to me, as a booker, you should never book anybody that you don't want to succeed. Right? Yeah. A lot of people say, "Oh man, this booker doesn't like me." I don't win there. They bury me, whatever. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. Yep. If you got 10 matches on the card, you're gonna have at least 10 losers on that card.
Yep.
You should never want anybody that's on your show to not succeed. I would never book anybody that I don't think will be a good addition to the show, even if they're going to lose, right? Because then why would you put them on your show?
Right.
The art of booking or producing is hiding weaknesses and promoting strengths, right? And you have Paul Heyman who masterclass at that. If you look at ECW, you could count the number of incredibly gifted workers that were there at any one time on one hand.
Also, to that same point, but on the different side of the coin, where else would Sandman work?
Yeah, nowhere. Same for Tommy Dreamer.
Yep. Same for Boss Mahoney.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
New Jack.
Yeah, New Jack. For every guy at ECW who was like, "Holy shit, that guy, he has it." For every Rob Van Dam, for every old school Taz.
Yeah.
For every one of those, for every briefly walking in Steve Austin's, for
Pillman.
Yeah, Pillman. Like, for every one of those guys, you know, Sabu. For every one of those guys you get who walks in, who just has it, Paul Heyman also had other guys who were just fucking, they could have been anyone off the street.
Yeah.
You know? But they had something, and Paul could work with it.
Yeah.
And that's always been his gift.
100%.
Because, like, man, like, I've never booked, so I don't know the first thing about booking wrestling. But, man, if I had to book and you give me fucking, you know, Sandman and Boss Mahoney and Tommy Dreamer, and I'm like, these guys gonna work security for me?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I kind of put them on the show.
Well, you know, lowest common denominator there is you put them all in the same match, and then they can only ruin one match on your show. If you just got to use them.
Yeah.
You know?
But those guys, not only were they utilized, they got over under Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
And that's the thing, right, is you always want, like I said, you always want everybody to succeed. It's lazy booking to go, well, this guy's not that good. I can get him for cheap, and I'll put him in this spot.
Right.
And I'll, you know, well, you know, this is one of my guys that he's up against, and I'll just depend that they'll carry them and make the match good.
Yeah.
And that's tough, man. That's really tough. And, you know, the thing, too, is like your agent or your producer or whatever, they have such a big stake in it. And that's another thing that WWE has really, really, like, worked out is that you have somebody, you have a third voice in the room.
Yeah.
Because if me and you are going to have a match, right, let's just say that we're not friends and I drive to Nebraska to work a show and you're from California and we never met each other, we don't run in the same circles, and I just meet you. If we sit down and start talking about this match, 9 times out of 10, I'm looking out for me and you're looking out for you.
Yep.
And the whole match is going to be from that lens of I'm going to get my shit in, you're going to get your shit in, and whoever the booker underlined, they're going to go over. You know, and if I'm just a real asshole and it's you, I'm going to try to make myself look as good as possible.
Oh, for sure.
Which is just going to shit all over both of us, right? Having that third voice to go, all right, well, you know, the angle that they're trying to get over is this. So why don't we, you know, do this, or, you know, not taking it over, but just kind of molding it, you know, and having that usually a more seasoned person that's standing there that doesn't have a ego stake in either side of the match. That's huge. Yeah. You know, that's a huge difference between the lower level, like, indies and then the higher level indies. And then when you get to WWE, like, on the indies, you have more of an agent, but WWE, you know, every match's got a producer.
100%.
And I mean, they're getting into the weeds of, like, okay, well, like, the camera's going to be here and we're going to do this, you know. Yeah.
So when you go up top for the whatever, make sure that you pause for that 2.5 seconds, because the camera's going to come in from this end. Yeah. And there's going to be a run in, so we don't want to get that person running in. So make sure that you're like, like all of that. So it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean the you know, best instance of that I've seen on the indies, I'm gonna give a shout out to Kevin Pierce. He does a lot of producer work now.
Okay.
And I got a chance when I was at a company here in Augusta called IWE to work with him, and we had worked together before, you know, several years before, and just seeing the, like, breadth of knowledge that he had gained over that time, you know, was just mind blowing to me, because, you know, he would get the card and he would have it laid out down to the minute of, like, this segment's going to take this time, this match is going to take this time, you know, referee, this is going to be here, you know, you need to be distracted right now, this is going on behind you, blah, blah, blah. We need to have a camera here to make sure we capture this. I mean, just very on the money for producing a show. And I'm going to tell you, when he was producing those shows, we were within 5 minutes of our desired end time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Every time.
Wow.
To do that at an indie level is absurd. You know?
Yeah, because, man, let me tell you, there's some selfish motherfucking workers out there.
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely.
There are some selfish motherfuckers out there for sure.
Yeah.
And so to do that on the indies is pretty damn impressive.
So I got to talk about an amazing thing for SummerSlam, Kevin Owens' return. That's the highlight of the show for me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And for that to be the highlight of a show on a show where CM Punk retained the world title is something.
Yeah.
For me, you know. Because that's like the main thing going in that I want to happen.
Right.
Is I want CM Punk to retain.
Yeah.
Always. And then, Kevin Owens coming out, I think it just hit everybody right in the feels.
I'll be honest, I did not see it coming.
Me neither.
The way that they spoke about this man's neck injury, I just had no estimated time of return for him.
Not to mention when Nick Aldis comes out and puts Gunther in the match.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this we're going to rob Zayn and Balor of their match and put Gunther in. I'm like, Gunther's going to win.
Because when it's a triple threat like that, I'm with you. I'm thinking, okay, well, Gunther's going to go on to face Punk. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't like this shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I didn't say I was just going to add one person. And then you feel it in the arena.
Yeah.
And
see, I tempered my expectations. I was like, maybe it's Drew.
Yeah.
Maybe Drew, he's done filming Highlander and he's coming back.
Yeah.
No.
When Kevin Owens came out, that place exploded. And not only did he come out, he won, and he looked like $1 million doing it. Mm-hmm. I think he's in shape too, man. I think he's in the best shape he's been in.
I think that more wrestlers should do that when they get hurt.
Yeah.
Like, you're not ripping and running. You're not on the road. You're not beating your body up. Shit.
Just go get in the gym.
Yeah, yeah. And so it was great to see Kevin Owens return. I was hyped for that.
And have a stellar match.
Yeah, and also it was done so smartly because he was put in there with 3 guys who he either knew or that they knew would take care of him.
Yeah. Can I say something here that's going to be controversial? And I'm not really asking your permission. I'm just... Gunther lost too much weight. And he looks like a basketball coach. He doesn't look threatening, at all to me.
Here's the thing, it's only because I know how he used to look and because I've been following his career for so long that I can still buy into his gimmick.
Right.
But if I were a new fan coming in off the street and watching Gunther, I would be very confused as to why he's this highly regarded, heavily revered person who everyone seems to be so scared of.
Yeah.
And, we spoke about that when we saw him work with Nick Aldis. Like, you have Nick, who is fucking jacked.
Who looks like $1 million.
Yeah.
Always has.
Always has. Like, those suits didn't hide anything.
No.
And then you have Gunther, who good for him because, like, he lost a lot of weight. The thing of this, though, man, is that, like, you lost a lot of weight, but you got to pick something up, too,
Yeah.
And this isn't to do any kind of body shaming or anything like that.
No, absolutely not. It's about believability and presentation, right? Like, I think Sami Zayn is an incredible worker. Mm-hmm. I think that you can't have him walking around with your world title.
Yeah, again, to your point, is about presentation and believability.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I am the last person to be able to comment on the condition that somebody's in. But, like, I'm also not trying to be the WWE champion. Yeah. But, like, when you got Muffin Top coming around the top of your tights that looks fucking terrible, I don't want, like, they can't market that.
Right.
Holding that championship means that you're trying to say that you're the guy and that they can put you on the Wheaties box and now, I mean, everything else, Absolutely. You want to be in the Allstate commercial, where the fuck it is,
Yeah. I think for me, Gunther, his saving grace, even though he doesn't look like a world killer, is the fact that he's so smart in the ring. He's so careful with his economy of actions that gets him over. That's enough. Would it be better if he had maybe a little bit more size on his frame? Yeah, for sure. But it's not so off-putting for me that it just completely shatters my believability. And like I said earlier, it's because I've seen him for so long.
Right. Yeah, I loved Walter, and even like early Gunther. I think them saddling him with this fucking career killer thing, that could have easily been Oba, and I think it would have hurt him just as bad.
Because what do you do after that? You're going to do that for so long.
Yeah, and it's just not. I don't think it's done anything for him. I think they really dropped the ball with Braun and Gunther honestly.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
They have. But it looks like they're gearing up maybe for like a Braun and Oba feud. But the problem is, like, their growth hasn't been lateral.
Right.
You know, like, Oba's been on like this just tear, and his trajectory's been just insane. But poor Braun, his has been all over the place. Like, for one thing, he ended up losing the feud with Seth, which I thought was a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I know that WWE, hell, they book this shit damn near day to day, it seems like. But if they had any kind of foresight, they would have not only had him beat Seth, they would have had him beat Seth emphatically.
Yeah.
Because how you going to have him have this face-off with Oba and me not believe that Oba's just not going to...
Well, because they had to have the Shield Farewell Tour 91.
Okay.
They had to have the final once in a lifetime, forever end of the road match
For realsies.
For realsies, yeah. Did you see the Kurt Angle
thing
where he was like, "Oh, guys, I miss you too," and he like put himself in
that
there?
was great.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Goddamn. So I'm of two minds on this, right? Like, I think that the culmination of that story again was when Cody won the strap.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was done perfectly there, because a lot of times pro wrestling doesn't have a whole lot of nuanced storytelling,
and that did,
and it did.
Yeah. Because Roman had the option to hit Seth or beat Cody.
Yeah.
And he couldn't put the grudge down.
Right.
And he lost the title. That ending was chef's kiss.
If you don't think that you can top that story, then don't go back to it.
Yeah. And like, I mean, perfect correlation to our normal subject matter here. That shit was their end game.
Yeah. And
then we are in their phase 5 right now, you know? Because a lot of what they did after that was just, we're going through the motions, you know?
Right.
They had so many different problems that came up. Another thing, too, I think with Braun and Gunther both, is both of them are kind of at their rising star was like kind of at the end of this kind of era. I don't know what this era is called. I guess the under new management era. I don't know. But if you look at like Trick, Oba, I mean, CM Punk didn't come up in this era, neither did Cody, but like they're both at the forefront of it.
Right.
Is like Gunther and Braun were both like on their way up when Vince was on his way out.
Yep.
And also like the days of like the full schedule and things like that. Whereas Oba has been on the relaxed schedule his entire time on the main roster.
Yeah.
Everything he's been involved in has been handcrafted. And he has an advantage that Braun just doesn't have. You know, Braun was working at a house show with whoever he's going to be on the pay-per-view with 5, 6, 7 times, you know?
Yeah.
And
has Braun been there that much longer than Oba?
I think so.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, he was NXT champion before Oba's era in NXT.
Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, they're like an NXT era or class away from each other. So
that's true.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that like, you know, the dice has been rolled on Braun Breaker, but it might have been, you know. But I think he's still a great hand to have around either way.
But he's in that position now where they either need to shit or get off the pot.
I agree.
You know.
But how? I mean,
I know
you can't have him roll over Oba.
No.
You can't have. I mean, you really can't have him roll over Punk either.
I think they thought about it.
I think they did think about it, but when it comes down to it, right at the end of the day, you got to think about this. And Triple H actually talked about this very well in like the post show because I think it was Damian Priest that had cut a promo like, oh, the same 5, 6 people are always at the top, whatever.
Yeah.
And Triple H was like, okay, go out there, get a bigger pop, sell more merch.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, the 3 biggest merch sellers in WWE are Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Danhausen, and not in that order. And then you have Roman.
Right.
You know? So until you step up to that, you don't have a lot to go on.
Right.
If you're not one of those people, they only put the strap on you to get it back to one of those people. Mm-hmm. And if they put the strap on you and you can't get the pops and the merch sales that those people have, they're going to put it back on those people.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for Damian Priest because I think he's a good hand.
Yeah.
He'll go out there and he'll put on a solid match.
Drew McIntyre too. Same
yeah,
boat.
Yeah. The problem with Drew is that problem with Damian Priest is when he was really coming up in the WWE, he was in Judgment Day, standing next to Rhea Ripley, and because she was getting all the pops, it maybe made it sound like they were getting all the pops, but it was her.
Yeah,
like she was the superstar, and so when Damian, he wins the strap and he's on his own now, and he just, I hate to say it, but he just doesn't have it,
right?
Know? And
few people do.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, I think if we were down maybe 3, maybe 5 big names, like if they all just got fucking injury bit,
yeah,
then I think that he's one you could look at to, all right, we give you another chance? Can you hold this thing? Can you? But like, as long as there's a Punk, as long as there's an Orton, as long as there's a Cody.
For me to get to Damian Priest, it's about to be more than 5 or 6 people.
I'm being nice. I'm being generous here.
I was gonna say because Chad Gable gonna have to be out. Finn Balor.
Yeah, I was gonna say Finn
is a guy who you could put at the top.
Yeah,
any time.
Absolutely.
I mean, he really deserves his run.
He does, man.
But he may not ever get it, and you kind of just have to live with that.
Yeah, well, I still haven't forgiven Seth Rollins for that, So.
Right.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins fucked up a lot of shit.
Bro, I'm surprised.
Sting.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm surprised that the Buckle Bomb just hasn't been flat out banned.
Yeah.
You injured the first ever Universal Champion, right? And then you hurt Sting.
You hurt the icon.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that main event with Roman.
Okay.
Have you seen that match?
You've
seen the highlights.
Yeah.
I didn't hate them. I mean, and I watched this with the homie Oz. He would be here, but he is. It's actually the homie Lauren's birthday.
Happy birthday!
So shout out! It's not every day that we have a homie birthday.
That's right.
We got another one coming up.
Oh shit!
But we actually watched this match together, and both of us kind of feel the same way about Roman and Seth. We weren't really interested in this match. They had a good match. Mm-hmm. I've never seen dueling buckle bombs because they sure as fuck did that shit. Like Seth buckle bombed fucking Roman, and then when Roman came out of it, he like reversed and like picked Seth up and then buckle bombed him on the other turnbuckle. And I was like, okay, well, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
For two guys who have worked together like a billion times, they actually did pretty well.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, you're like, what was the point of this? Mm-hmm. Like, Roman just beats him clean, and like I get it, like that's how I would do it too. But it's almost like they just wanted to absolutely solidify that Rollins in this equation is number two.
Yeah,
which everyone except for Seth Rollins knew that.
That kind of goes back to circling back to something I mentioned earlier about WWE having this issue with finishers.
Yeah.
There used to be a time where like a finish would end the match.
Yes.
And
one time.
Yeah, just one. Yeah. And then it became a thing where it goes back to storytelling. It always circles back to storytelling and looking for shortcuts. Where it's like, okay, we want to tell the story of this grueling match, and we want to get the people, as high up there as we can. And you can do that through a careful crafting of your match and storytelling, or you get your finish out of nowhere and get a near fall.
Yeah.
But how many times are you going to do that? And how many times do we see that now? It's like if there is a 10-match card on a big pay-per-view, then we'll probably see that 6 times.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I don't even want to see it every pay-per-view main event.
I know.
Like back when Rock and Austin had their trilogy. When they did the 17 match, seeing them kick out of each other's finishers,
right?
It was this immense, like, crazy thing. No one kicked out of the stunner back then,
right?
It happened once a year, if that.
Yeah,
nobody kicked out of the stunner. You could kick out of the people's elbow, but you couldn't kick out of the rock bottom and then the people's elbow.
Right, that's it.
That's it. That's
damn near like a jackhammer spear jackhammer combination. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, not kicking out of that.
You are not kicking out of that shit.
Right.
So that made it to where when it happened, it was this big deal. But now it's looked at as just another tool in the toolbox. And don't get me wrong, Roman and Seth actually had some really nice near falls.
Yeah.
But it's a very slippery slope to end up exactly like this, Omega and Ospreay match is going to be. It's like, how did you guys decide to finish?
Right.
Because I hit you with mine like 16 times. What makes it to where you didn't kick out this time?
That has always been my question about matches like that.
Yeah.
Right. They'll do some of the craziest fucking shit, right? And then Will Ospreay beat you with that fucking the hidden blade.
Yeah.
It's like the weakest move in his arsenal.
Yeah.
Like, how does that fucking work?
How does that do it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not the fucking Tiger Driver 91 or whatever, where he drops you in your fucking neck.
Yeah.
Deliberately.
Yeah. Once upon a time, I actually I considered changing my finisher to a knee strike. For those of you who don't know, I many moons ago I primarily used the pedigree actually. Yep. And I actually considered at one point changing it to where I was gonna do a thing where I would like grab the back of their head and then I was gonna do like a Street Fighter knee, and I would let them go like right before I was gonna hit them, of course, so they could bump it.
Right.
And when I told Oz that I was planning on doing that, he thankfully was like, "Don't do that stupid shit," and talked me out of it. And I never did it.
Right.
I did the move, but not as a finish. And it's just like Jericho with that stupid ass back elbow bullshit,
bro. Yeah. It was actually Jim Cornette who made a really good point about Jericho's. I think he calls it the Judas elbow.
Yeah.
And he goes, Jericho was working with somebody in AEW, and Jericho goes for the Judas elbow, and the guy blocks it, and Jericho, stops, and he turns into something else. And Jim was like, if you throw a back elbow at somebody, would you just stop when they put their hands up? Like, right. It doesn't make any sense.
No, none at all. Yeah. That whole thing is bonkers to me. I'm like, how you got the code breaker in your arsenal,
right? And
you're gonna change to a back elbow?
Yeah, like I get it. Like it's easier,
Yeah,
but
I was actually saying during the Roman match is like I would like to see somebody lose to the Superman punch every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then. Yeah.
I would like the Superman punch to be it every now and then. Like Roman's got a couple finishes.
Yeah, he's got that guillotine front choke.
He's got the spear.
Yeah, got the spear. I mean, look.
It's more powerful if he does the ooh-wah.
Oh, yeah. If he does ooh-wah and gets like that superpower up.
It's like double damage.
Oh, man, yeah. Hits it. I look back to like Undertaker, man. Undertaker, during like the 2008 era, he had like 4 finishers. You know what I mean? He could beat you with a choke slam, tombstone, last ride, the Hell's Gate.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, anything else he did, he was such a fucking legend at that time. Anything else he did was like a fucking signature move of his.
Yeah.
The old school.
Yeah, the dive over.
Yeah, dive over. The flying clothesline, snake eyes, big boot. Everything he did.
Yeah, everything he did was a signature.
Yeah.
Well, he was just so iconic, doing that. And like, Punk is kind of that way, right? He's got the knees in the corner.
Yep.
Bulldog. He's got the bulldog. He's got the elbow.
Drop. Yep.
He can beat you with that. He can beat you with Anaconda Vice. He can beat you with GTS.
Yep.
And he does a sharpshooter. Actually, I've seen him beat people with sharpshooter.
I mean, and Cody, excuse me, he used to be that way, but now not so much because he doesn't beat anybody with anything.
He also, I feel like he's eliminated so much of his like move list.
Right.
Like you don't really see him do the what's the kick off the second row?
Disaster kick.
Disaster kick.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him hit a Cody cutter in a while.
That's true, and that used to be the main one. He used to, it used to be like if he wanted to beat you with the Cody cut, he had to hit you with like 15 of them.
Yeah. Do you think he saw Sean do it like one time and then he was like, you can have a kid? Because like I'm gonna tell you now, Sean Legacy, if his cutter's better than Cody's.
That's got to be rough because like Javon hits a better fucking Cody cutter.
Yeah, he does.
Super Cody cutter.
Yeah. I like his. Yeah. But the only thing about his is like he's smaller.
Yeah.
And so there's less impact. Like from the point once he catches you. Yeah. You don't go down as fast, whereas like when Sean hits you with it, that's a big old boy hitting you with it. Yeah. And Sean, check out Sean Legacy and NXT, guys. Also, I probably am biased here because of these three people we've talked about, only one of them has hit me with the move.
Yeah, Sean Legacy's the man, by the way.
He is.
I saw his promo that his rebuttal to Grayson Waller was really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see the two of them.
Oh yeah,
mix it up
for sure.
They got he's the diamond in the rough in NXT right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
I really hope that that Shawn and the other Shawn Michaels, I hope that him and AJ both like have kind of seen that because I'm not putting him over because he's my buddy, but I really think in the evolution of Shawn Michaels to AJ Styles, I think Legacy is the next in line for that,
and that's high regard.
It is. Yeah. But I mean, I've seen the kid go from like this is his first indie show to where he is now, in like less than 10 years.
Right.
And he's only ever gone up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
And he's just got like a drive and a discipline that I don't see in a lot of people.
He's an incredible talent.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're at the 2-hour mark here. Should we talk about our show this weekend that we're putting on?
We should.
So guys, we'll talk here a little bit about at the end. If you're in the Southeast and you like pro wrestling, which I hope if you're at the 2-hour mark of this podcast that you do, if you stuck around, there's a wrestling show this weekend that we are actually sponsoring. We are specifically the main event sponsor. 4 incredible talents in that match. We'll talk about it a little bit. Viral Pro Wrestling this Saturday. Bell times at 7 p.m. You can look them up on all the different social medias. You can get your tickets now. I think all the front row has already sold out. But either way, I mean, it's going to be an incredible show.
I'm looking at the card now, man, and they got some bangers on here.
If you can't make it, it's going to be on IWTV afterwards. So like if you're anywhere in the world, you can watch that. But I want to talk about the card for that a little bit. I may or may not have spent about 2.5 hours yesterday filming for a thing that's going to be pretty interesting, I think. Yours truly also might show up on the show. So
shit.
But there's a guy by the name of Dusty Jackson that does the video work there. And, I mean, to say that he's one of the best in the business, the video production there is on the level with WWE. And I can't say that lightly. I mean, he is just over the moon, really, really good at what he does. And takes a lot of care in what he's doing. So, spent some time filming with him yesterday. Let's talk about this VPW Women's Championship match. Joya Blake, Amanda Kiss, Savannah Evans. I think that's a great matchup. If you're not familiar with these talents, they're very big on the indies. Savannah Evans, amazing TNA run.
Right.
And she's kind of torn it up. I've known her for a long time personally. She's very good. So I'm excited to see this. Savannah Evans actually lost the title to Joya Blake, I think, at the last show. So she's on the warpath trying to get that back.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it's hard to have a women's title in indie wrestling. It
is.
It's very tough.
Yeah. For the longest time, it seemed like it was hardest to have like a tag team division in indies, but yeah, I think it is probably even marginally harder to have a women's division sometimes.
Yeah. Agreed.
But when you find good ones.
Yeah. And I personally would sign off all 3 of these talents. Yeah. Like, they're really good. Hunter James and Jimmy Wild. Are you familiar with these guys?
Yeah. Especially, I've seen a few Jimmy Wild matches, but I've seen a lot more of Hunter James.
Hunter James is really like he's one of those guys where I think like he could end up in NXT.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Definitely could see him WWE ID program. Definitely could see him ending up down at the Performance Center. Outbreak Championship is an incredibly storied title at Viral Pro. For those of you, if you don't know the history, it's been around since the very first show. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, if you look at this title, we were just talking about Shawn Legacy. Mm-hmm. He is, I think, probably the longest reigning person to ever hold it. If it's not him, it's probably Owen Knight. Yeah. The feud that these guys had with each other was
legendary.
Absolutely legendary. Just because they were two guys who came in hungry at the bottom of the show and fought at every level of the show until they finally did it for the heavyweight title. Yeah. So there's so much history behind this championship. 10 years old this Saturday.
Crazy.
So to be the guy at the 10-year mark that's holding this thing, Hunter James is actually looking to get this title back. There's a trend here.
Man, that's gonna be a great match.
Yeah. I'm with you too. Like I've seen a lot more of his stuff than I've seen Jimmy Wild, but great talent though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also hungry. He's got something to prove.
Right.
And you cannot underestimate that in any circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of one of the cool things about the Indies is that you're never going to see somebody taking the night off on the Indies.
Right, yeah.
Because they all have something that they want to prove.
Yeah, unless they're a name, in which case.
That every now and then, true.
Every now and then you'll see that.
Yeah.
This 10th anniversary Cup Scramble match.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine your familiarity with these guys is all over the place.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. From having been in the ring with some of them to you probably have not seen them.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, I really know that guy. Oh yeah, I know that guy too. It's interesting.
So John Schuyler, obviously TNA, he's been in the Southeast for a long time. He has a lot of storied history with Viral. Mm-hmm. He had a great championship match with Hex there many years ago.
Yeah.
Brian Idol does a lot with NWA, and so does Misery. He's actually, I think he's an NWA TV champion right now. If that's not the national title, let me see if I can zoom in on this.
Yeah, that is.
It's a TV title. Yeah,
it's a TV. Okay.
Josh Magnum, you've been in the ring with.
Yeah.
Before. Yeah. So a lot of history there. Do you know a lot about Skrilla? Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've worked with him several times.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. I like his work, and I just like him as a guy. Yeah. So this is probably not one I would have put together, to be honest with you. I would say at least 3 very contrasting styles in this match, but that can always result in something really incredible.
Right.
So
yeah, and that's kind of the thing about like matches like this. It's 5-person, which is kind of an off-putting number for a wrestling match, and it's a scramble match on top of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, all these guys have a lot of experience.
Yeah, and I think I can see Brian Idol and John Schuyler being the breaks in this match and trying to ground things.
Yep.
I can see Magnum and Misery doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think Skrilla's going to be taking advantage of both of those situations.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, let's talk the special attraction match.
Yeah.
Man, look, I also wouldn't have put this together.
Huh.
When I saw, as these matches kind of started to roll in, I saw like that Storm didn't have an opponent, and I was like, oh, well, they're going to put him with Hunter James. Like that's, you can't put him with. I was like, well, Billy Brash would be always a good choice.
Yep.
He's in the tag title match, and I was like, well, I mean, I guess they're going to put him with Hunter James, out of who's left and doesn't have a match. And then I saw the advertisement that Cruel was going to be there, and I was like, oh, okay, I wonder who he's working.
Yeah.
And never in my mind would I have been like, you're going to put these two guys together, because typically when you bring in like special attractions like this, you typically put them with some of your homegrown people. But putting these two against each other, man, there's not a more contrasting style than this.
Right.
I don't know how this is going to work, but I am very, very, very excited to find out.
Yeah, like this one has my curiosity a lot.
Yeah. I haven't seen James Storm in quite a few years, but I saw the promo that he cut, and he seems like he's still on it, and he looked like he was still in really good shape.
Yeah. Good to see him back now. Because how many times now has he been to viral?
This is at least his fourth time.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a lot of history with viral, man. He was on Infection 2.
Wow.
And then he was also on, I think, 4. So I think he was on 2 and 4. He came in for another show, and then he was on this one. He's on this one. So this, I think is at least his fourth time. And like I said, a lot of history at Viral. One of the most memorable moments for me, probably because I was running as fast as my dress shoes would carry me, was at the end of Infection 4. This was Sean and Darius the first time.
Yeah.
And he, obviously, like myself and the rest of the Unknown, we were taking care of business at the end of that. And here comes him, Mikey Galino, leading the charge with all the guys running out. And we scramble, and they end up having a, giant, like, beer party in the middle of the ring after that. And, like, they, like, dump the cooler out. And fun story, the cooler actually, the cold, super cold water actually shrank that canvas.
Oh.
And we had another show like 2 weeks after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we had to get like ratchet straps and like pull that, like stretch that shit out so it would fit. Yeah, it was craziness. I don't want to talk about the main just yet. I'll save that for last.
Okay.
So we have this this no DQ match. Have you followed any of the Rich Wise Carl Hager saga?
I have seen some of the promos.
It is ridiculous in the best way.
Yeah.
And you and I have a lot of history with Carl Hager as well, and with Chris Mayne.
Yeah.
There's a pretty famous video of Chris Mayne dropping you on your dome in a match. That some years ago, but
good times.
Yeah, this Saturday Night Scream, like kind of Elton John-esque gimmick that Carl Hager's going with, it just works for him, man.
It does, man. Like he just leans all the way into it. I see him occasionally at the gym.
Yeah,
and man, he's just having a fucking blast with this. But man, yeah, this is I think this is gonna be a really fun match.
I think that the odds of Chris Mayne laying both of them out are high.
Oh, extremely high. Yeah.
Because I think he's fed up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If I were a betting man, I would definitely bet money that, Chris Mayne is going to get physical.
With one or both of them.
With one or both of them.
Yeah. Two really big matches on this card. They're all big, but these two have the most interest from me. One is the tag title match. These are both fatal 4-ways. Tag title match, you have the Superstars versus Better Together versus the Monster Squad versus the Country Gentlemen. Country Gentlemen defending the tag titles. They've had quite a run with them. The reason that this one is so important is a lot of people don't know, may not know this. A lot of people also do know. The Monster Squad are the inaugural Viral Pro Wrestling champions.
Were both of them at the very first Viral show?
They were. Yes.
Wow.
So out of the people that are on this card, right, there are only 3 people that were at the very first VPW show.
I'm looking for the third.
Chris Mayne.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Mayne. Now, I think that there's a possibility that Hager was there, but I don't think he was on the card.
Right.
It's been a while since I watched that first show, but I don't think he was on the card. But I do think he might have been there. But as far as like on the card, it's just those. Well, it's 4. It's myself. I'm gonna be there. But I think if the Monster Squad wins this, I think that's gonna be the pop of the night. I think the roof comes off the place.
Man, that would be amazing.
Because they still to this day have one of the most impressive entrances on the Indies. To me.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. Yeah, and they just work so good together.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about this main event, man. Brought to you by yours truly.
What?
This match is superhero homie approved. I really, really love this match. I think that this match is going to have no problem following everything that came before it. Mm-hmm. The only problem they might have is that the crowd might be exhausted by the time they get to them.
Right.
But
good problem to have.
You got John Davis, who is like the seasoned veteran here, and he's also dangerous as hell.
Yes.
You do not want to be anywhere near this man if he is coming after you.
We spoke about believability earlier, and like that is 1,000% John Davis.
Oh yeah, yeah. This man can just toss you. He tosses human beings around like they're just weightless objects.
Yeah, yeah. And you love to see it. It makes me glad that I don't wrestle anymore.
Yeah. And then I think next on the experience level here, you have Darius Lockhart. Mm-hmm. Darius Lockhart, the longest reigning VPW champion of all time. He is a 2-time VPW champion. And the only person to ever wrench it out of his hands is Shawn Legacy.
Yeah.
Because the first time he got stripped of the title. So he never lost it.
Right.
So they stripped him of the title. He won it right back. Mm-hmm. And then it took Shawn 2 years to take it off him.
Yeah.
So like that's next level when you have that kind of pedigree here going into this.
Right.
Then you got Alexander Lev, who is the young guy in this match.
Right.
He's the he's definitely not a rookie. He's been on the scene for a while, but he's definitely the most like up and coming guy, especially when it comes to viral. Mm-hmm. But this dude's insanely talented, and his gimmick's great.
Yeah, I got to see more of him, but like from what I've seen so far, he seems impressive.
Yeah, he's the only one. Alexander Lev.
Yeah.
He's very good. Got a lot of. You spoke about aura earlier. Mm-hmm. Dude has it. He almost kind of has like the Punk when he was leading the what was it?
Straight Edge
Society a little bit.
Yeah.
Not from like the straight edge aspect of it, but he just kind of has that like, for lack of a better phrase, that cult of personality kind of thing going for him.
Right.
And then speaking of cults, we have Drew Hood.
Yep.
The devil himself.
Yes, yeah. He's been champ for a while now, hasn't he?
He has been champ for a while. This is a guy on a personal level that I've always really wanted to work with. Mm-hmm. I was in pro wrestling for a very long time, and so I don't have a lot of things left on my bucket list. But if there's anything that's definitely on it that would like get me off the sidelines and get me involved, it would be a chance to work with Drew Hood. Mm-hmm. I think he's an awesome talent, and I think he's in his prime right now.
Yeah.
He is. The odds are against him because all three of these dudes hate his guts because he's been very horrible to them. But on that same note, it is not going to be easy for any of them to take the strap off of this guy.
Right.
So plus he's got druids. So
I mean, yeah. Once you have druids, Undertaker had druids.
Yeah.
And he hardly ever lost.
Yeah.
This main event looks dope.
I'm telling you, I am very proud that we are sponsoring this main event.
It is superhero homie approved.
That's right. This is an incredible batch of talent, and you'd be hard pressed to find anywhere anything on this level. These guys are going to deliver. I can promise you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly. This is an amazing card, and there's some great talent on this card. I can't express this enough. If you are in the area, even if you're not, you just want to see some good wrestling, I highly implore you to go check out Viral Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, come check it out. Like I said, it's this Saturday. Bell time, 7 p.m., Augusta, Georgia.
Right up the street from here.
Yeah. Come check it out. You might even run into a homie or two there.
Yeah.
So I'll even sign your shit for free if you really want.
He won't do it for free, but he'll do it.
It depends on what it is, you know. I ain't gonna have you flipping no Funkos on eBay with my name on them.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, in case you guys, for those of you guys who have stuck through this whole episode, if you haven't gathered, we could talk about pro wrestling. We literally could start a second podcast about pro wrestling if we wanted to. We don't, but we could.
But we could. Yeah, like we only scratched the surface of the things that we could talk about tonight. But
we could go for 2 hours about finishes.
Absolutely. I mean, really, like we can get in the weeds here.
We really can. Yeah.
But we won't. We're at the 2 hour and 20-minute mark.
We are.
So it's about time for us to wrap this one up. But if you guys like this, we have no problem talking wrestling again. I mean, we might be ready. Who knows? By the end of the year or Mania season.
That's true. We did review Mania. I don't think we did it last year, but I think 2 years ago we did a Mania review.
Yep.
And this was like a quasi SummerSlam review, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit of a SummerSlam review. Yep. Also, shout out to EO Sky and Liv Morgan. They also put on a banger.
Yeah, can't let that go without being mentioned because they were the match to beat all the way till the main.
They were. Yeah. But you got anything else before we wrap up tonight?
No, man, that's it. Next week we're going to be right back to our reviews. I think we're doing House of the Dragon. Yep. Which I need to desperately catch up on.
Me too.
That shit was episode 5 was hard to get through for me. Have you seen that one?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
I watched half of it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was like, I was like, man, surely I've watched. This thing's about to be over. I'm like 50 minutes in, and I was like half, and I was like, oh my god, man, what is happening? But that'll all be next week, and then the week after that. We will be talking about some X-Men 97 goodness.
Yes, we'll be wrapping up that season. Thankfully, I haven't been so fortunate as to avoid the House of the Dragon spoilers, but I have been able to avoid all X-Men 97 spoilers. So, looking forward to that as well.
I've been able to avoid both, but I also pretty much know what's going to happen on House of the Dragon. I don't know the specific episodes. However, by the time we review X-Men 97, the first episode of Lanterns will be out.
Yes. That is exciting.
Yeah, and so we will have Lanterns to go into shortly after that.
Yep. So we got content, folks, is what we're getting into.
For days.
Yes.
And then before you know it, we'll be like, all right, we're reviewing Doomsday.
That's the crazy thing about it.
And Dune.
And Dune, yeah. And before that, we got Clayface.
Yeah, Dune has to move now, right? I mean, now that Spidey has made like $1 billion in 6 days.
I think so.
I think the IMAX people are gonna get on the phone with Warner Brothers and go, guys, can we, anywhere? Can we do 2 weeks?
They're gonna have to sweeten the pot for Warner Brothers, I think.
Yeah, maybe so, but I think it would be in their best interest to not do this. For both companies, really.
I agree.
I mean, I don't want Marvel to move, but if Warner Brothers just refuses, I think it'd even be in Marvel's best interest to move their date.
As long as the move means moving more towards today, and not moving into next year.
Yeah, I mean, one or the other should go 2 weeks up.
Yeah.
2 weeks ahead. Mm-hmm. If you're still doing post-production work 2 weeks before the movie comes out, you got bigger problems than your release.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Well, one of them needs to budge at this point. And
right.
And really, Marvel has the cards here. But if they got to move, they got to move because it's going to eat into. If they do come out on the same day, that's the worst case scenario for everybody.
Well, if they. So what about this Infinity Vision thing?
Our GTX here got the certification for it, so it's like, it's the lowest of low on the the standards for it are not very high, really. Not that I don't like our GTX, but they could fix some shit. They could improve some things.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah, the Infinity Vision screens will be mandated that they have to go Doomsday, and then Dune has IMAX locked in.
Yeah.
So someone would have to go back on their word.
Right.
And I mean, these are contracts we're talking about here. These aren't handshakes.
Yeah.
So I mean, the IMAX CEO can go to Warner Brothers and go, "Hey, man, listen, guys, we'll give you a longer window if you'll move up a month. We'll give you that whole month exclusivity if you move up a month. Maybe that's how they sweeten the pot.
Yeah, that could sweeten it. Otherwise, I don't see it happening.
But like they got to look at the way that Odyssey had the legs cut out from under it. I mean, Odyssey's still doing well. Don't get it twisted. But the drop for Odyssey was way higher than anybody thought. And then half of the IMAX screens are about to cut it off and go to Spidey. And nobody saw that coming, not even IMAX.
Yeah, true. But I think that's all I have for this one.
Yeah, man.
It was a good time. But that's going to be all for now, homies. But of course, we will see you guys again very soon. But until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
I'm Superhero Homie Caleb.